All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Frost Calnow Stadium, the site of tonight's Division III playoff matchup between Tiffin Columbian and the Padua Franciscan Bruins. Nate Mullins on the call tonight with Tommy Hall. We are live once again here at the beautiful confines at Frost Calnow Stadium. We have a packed house tonight, folks, and they are here to watch the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes as they continue their journey, continue their trek to another state semifinal appearance. I'm Nate Mullins, once again joined by Tommy Hall on the call. You're tuned in here on the pregame show brought to you by Rodgers Flowers. Tommy, boy, what a setting for tonight's game. And I tell you, I couldn't be more happy to bring you tonight's ball game live here at Frost Calnow Stadium. What figures to be the final home game here for the Columbian Tornadoes?
Yeah. And what's a brewing? Well, it's a little bear, but what's really brewing is this regional quarterfinal matchup live from Frost Calnow Stadium, round 2 of the OHSAA playoffs, as Tiffin Columbian getting to play host here in these hallowed grounds here at Frost Calnow Stadium as we get ready for kickoff here. Padua had won the toss, and again, Nate, this is such a huge game for both these squads, as unfamiliar with Padua Franciscan coming over from the Cleveland area. They share a mutual opponent in Sandusky, in which Tiffin Columbian was able to dispatch 41-6 earlier on in this season, and Padua in a shootout, but coming away with the victory in that matchup against Sandusky, which tells me this squad may give up some points, but hey, they can also put up points as well.
That's right, Tommy. So we're going to have to keep an eye on both sides of the ball here for Tiffin Columbian. We'll talk about the keys to the game here in just a moment. But once again, we are just about set for tonight's ball game. We're just about set as Padua Franciscan will kick off. They did win the toss. They elected to defer, so Columbian will receive the opening kickoff. And we are just about underway here at Frost Calnow Stadium. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. I want to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors, our pregame show sponsor, Rodgers Flowers, and all of our sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports, including Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Clouse Electric, UIS Insurance, First National Bank of Sycamore, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, and Happy Days Nutrition, as well as our patron for tonight's game, Dr. Joel Consolo. Kickoff received by Tiffin Columbian, and Damian Brockington returns it back past the 35 up to the 36-yard line, and we're underway here at Frost Calnow Stadium. We have a special guest joining us tonight as we have a fill-in for our sideline reporter, as Eric Hall was unable to make the trip today, but filling in, bringing you tonight's Phillips Electric weather report, Dan Hartsel, none other than Dan the Man. And, we're going to have to send that down to Dan right now as he is live on the sideline. Dan, how we doing?
I'm doing good, Nate. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing wonderful as Damian Brockington carries that one up to the 41-yard line. So, Dan, what's the weather like today for this one?
I'll tell you what, it's about 60 degrees down here. There's a little bit of a breeze, but nothing that should affect the quarterbacks or the kicking game right off the bat.
There you go. There's your Phillips Electric weather report. Once again, brought to you by your friends at Phillips Electric.
Quick screen out to Corper. Doesn't get too much doing there. Bring up 3rd and 3. As, again, we're in the action here from Frost Calnow Stadium.
3rd down and 3 coming up here. Once again, thanks to Dan Hartsel down on the sideline. They'll be checking in with him periodically throughout the game. Rogo flings it over the middle. It's incomplete as he was looking for his intended receiver, Bryce Rogo. Trying for the Brogo connection there.
After a decent return to start the game, had the ball at the 43. Tiffin Columbian looks like they may punt here.
And there was a penalty on the play. It was declined. So it looks like Tiffin Columbian has elected to punt. So, yeah, you'll see the punt unit come onto the field for the Tornadoes here with 11:07. So a 3-and-out to start the game here for the Tornadoes offense. Back deep to return is Freddie Borky, junior tight end. Tornadoes get the punt away. It hits at the 45 or 35 and rolls inside the 20. Friendly Columbian roll all the way down to the 17-yard line, and that's where it'll be downed And that's where the Bruins will take over for their first possession of the ball game.
Defense. And this will be our first look at this Columbian defense on the night. It's all SBC defense. Top Gun Tornado defense got a couple of SBC defensive players. See Connor Musa, first team decorative order. And Mitch Scheiber leading this squad in tackles. Getting off first team SBC honors as well. Brady Gooding, Jack Newlove, second team in that secondary. Plenty of defensive weapons for you if you're the Tornadoes.
And once again, Bruins have it, and flag flies in from the side judge over by the 20-yard line. Looks like we're going to have possibly a holding call, but we'll see what the call is.
That SBC,
just a 3-yard gain on the play.
That SBC honorable mention, Talib El-Zaquani, cleaning up the quarterback there. It's a legal substitution, it looks like.
A legal substitution against the offense. So that'll back him up another 5 yards. And it wipes out a 3-yard gain. It'll remain first down, though. They'll mark the ball about the 12-yard line. I want to get a look at this junior quarterback for the Bruins. Big 6'4", 225-pound Tyler Tusai.
Probably the biggest tree for the Columbian defense's axe to fell in this season.
Handoff up the middle. And the running back carries it up near the 20-yard line.
May get that penalty yardage back.
Marquise Hall on the carry. Listed as a wide receiver, 5'11", 170 pounds. Bruins come into tonight 6-5, coming off a 5-5 regular season. Second down and 9 coming up here. They get 6 yards back after the penalty. Tusai back to pass, slings it out right side. That's complete. Near the first down marker.
And when you got a quarterback like Tusai standing in at 6'4", 225 pounds, I mean, he's not afraid to sling it.
Third and short here. Third down and just a yard. They quickly right back up to the line. Pistol set here as Tusai. Hard count trying to draw the defense. They stay home. And referees were going to stop the play here, as I think there's some kind of an equipment issue here.
Can I get a trainer out here with some water? A trainer with some water.
Maybe the officials need a little refreshment.
Oh, well, must be some hydration issue just 2 minutes into the game here. Either that or just telling them, hey, hose him down with some cold water here.
Again, TC got to be locked on these three Bears: Marquise Hall, Caden Fiuk, and Roderick Love. Three-headed monster doing their share of the carrying the load. As you see there, multiple touchdowns by each back. They can throw some different looks at you.
Yeah, this is a very tricky offense. Columbia's going to have to be on their toes here tonight. Handoff. And they're going to stop him behind the line.
Goodness.
They're going to lose yardage on the play. Back to the 26-yard line. Marquise Hall on the carry. But that's going to bring out the punt unit.
Yeah, Mitch Scheiber
coming up to fill that gap, Tommy, doing a great job reading his keys.
Yeah, like we talked about, first team All-SBC, led the league in tackles this year.
Yeah.
And, man, his imprint is already being felt in the early onset of this game from Frost County Stadium.
Once again, we want to thank our presenting sponsors for tonight's ball game, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union and Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. Bad snap. They do get the punt away, but it's a short punt. It's going to hit at the 45. Takes a friendly Bruin roll inside Tornado territory down around the 45-yard line. That's where the Tornadoes will take over their second offensive possession of the ball game after going 3 and out the first time out. We'll be checking in with our sideline reporter throughout the ball game here today, as once again we have Dan Hartsel filling in for us here today.
back again. You got rid of it.
Tiffin Columbian take over here at the 45.
Shotgun set, one man in the backfield. Rogo takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself off the right side. Squirts his way through up to the 49-yard line. Actually give him 3, maybe 4.
And when you got a Division I prospect like Rogo here, that's one of the things that you kind of played close to the vest here, Nate. You really haven't seen Rogo take off in a lot of those option situations, but when he does, man, he can turn it up.
He's effective.
But, I mean, when you got these talented backs like he does.
Rogo slings it down the field, down the left sideline. He's got a man at the 20. It's caught and out of bounds. They're going to say no catch. They're going to say incomplete. Corper, the intended receiver. We'll have to take a look and see if we can catch on the replay if he was able to catch that one. Nope, incomplete pass was the right call. So it would look like it might have been good, but it's going to be 3rd down and 6 coming up here for Tiffin Columbian. Gooding, the intended receiver, down the left sideline. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6. Empty backfield. 5 receiver set. Rogo back to pass. They bring pressure. Rogo steps up. He's going to be brought down and sacked in the backfield. Back at the 35-yard line. And they brought the house on that one, Tommy. They saw the empty backfield, and I think they had a trigger there. It was a key for them. They knew, hey, this is our chance. Let's get after it.
Well, big athletic linebackers for the Bruins. You usually see that front switching between a 3 or 4. But in this situation, they brought them backers and got tremendous pressure on Rogo, creating a huge 4th and 21 now as Columbian's going to be forced to punt.
And Tornadoes get the punt away. Calls for the fair catch, but the punt will roll all the way down. And they touched that ball. And now Bruin touched that ball. And the Columbian Tornadoes cover it in the end zone. That should be a Columbian ball. That orange marker came in from the referee on the side, indicating a change of possession. Now that happens on a punt. But there is a flag here. We'll see if there's a fair catch interference called here. I don't think there was, though, because he had plenty of opportunity to catch the ball.
Dan, you're down there. What are you hearing?
Well, what I'm hearing right now is it looks like it was a push in the back from one of the Padua defenders.
Remember, you got to point towards the side, towards the press box when you talk.
Yep, sorry about that.
That's all good.
It looks like pushing the back on the offensive on the receiving team, and it's come up about to the 5-yard.
That's going to put him all the way back at the 2.5-yard line.
Wow. Never want to be in the shadow of your own goalpost here, Nate, as this is going to be a hefty blue-collar drive that you're going to have to work for. 0-0 still.
Tusai with the handoff, trying to find some running room off the left side. And they bring him down at the 15-yard line, but a nice gain there by number 10. That's Roderick Love on the carry. And once again.
Is that it? No.
Still no score. 7:31 left to play here in the first quarter. Bruins with the ball at their own 15. Tusai slings it out left side. Complete. And he's got it up past the 20 to the 21-yard line. Nice job by Riley Cervenka on the reception.
A.J. Hickman right there, too, to make the read, to make the stop. But what started at the 1-yard line, now Padua driving here.
Bruins have it at the 23-yard line. 2nd down and 2. They're going to hand off the left side. He's got some running room. That's Love on the carry. He's breaking tackles. Still on his feet all the way down inside Tornado territory to the 46-yard line. Roderick Love, the last 2 carries have taken them from the 2.5-yard line all the way inside Tornado territory down to the 45.
Tiffin Columbian has 4 hands down, kind of spreading that defense out a little bit. But get a hat on a hat, Nate, you're going to be able to find the edge and be able to get to that second level. And it's up to that secondary to make those reads.
Tusai, handoff, Love.
Look at
He
that,
runs into his own blocker and falls down in the backfield. Nice job by Mitch Scheiber just blowing up the blocker and just drives him right in to the running back. You can credit Scheiber with the tackle on that one, I think, even though.
I tell you what, though, I mean, he ran right through Troy Bruner, the offensive lineman there at 6'2", 295.
Empty backfield set. Tusai looks to the sideline for the play adjustment. 2 receivers on the near side, 3 receivers on the far side. Bruins work right to left. Ball at the 45. Tyler Tusai takes the snap, looking, steps up into the pocket, and Tornadoes have him, and they're going to bring him down just past the line of scrimmage. He does pick up a couple of yards, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 17. I guess that's, or 3rd and 7. That's better than taking the sack there, Tommy. But, you know, coverage was great there. He just took what the defense gave him, I guess, which was not much. 3rd and long, 3rd and 7.
I think if Tusai hiccup, he'd get 3 yards.
Yeah.
A big, tall drink of water as a young man from Padua Franciscan.
All he's got to do is fall forward to get 2.
I was like I always say, even if you fall on your face, you're still falling forward.
That's right. 3rd and 7. Bruins settle into the shotgun. Tyler Tusai takes the snap and hang on. Delay a game. It's going to go against the Bruins. That's going to change the play call most likely, as that's going to back them up 5 yards.
I mean, look at the beautiful facilities, the venue that we have here tonight. You're looking right at the play clock on both end zones.
For the quarterback, I can excuse that because that's not exactly what his mind is on right now at the moment, but that's on the coach.
Yeah.
You got to be watching that. Now empty backfield set here.
Got to have a little sense of urgency here.
2 receivers on the near side, 3 on the far side of the field. Tusai back in the shotgun, takes the snap. They bring 3 over the middle. He's got his receiver at the first down marker, and that's going to be a first down.
Soft spot.
Freddie Borky on the reception.
Soft spot in the zone.
He just found that hole. That's all it was.
And he's got a great view of the field.
Yeah.
Does this young field general. Said Tusai in his junior campaign. A couple of junior quarterbacks doing it out here.
That's right. 4:05 left to play here in the first quarter. No score, but the Bruins threatening now. Fake the handoff. Tusai rolls to his right, looking, slings it. He's just going to get rid of it out of bounds, as there was nobody home there. Great coverage on the play.
I tell you what, Connor Musa, single-handedly, the reason why that play broke down is he got off the block, able to get pressure on Tusai, forcing Tusai to throw it out of bounds, Nate.
That's right. Jack Newlove with an excellent job in coverage downfield there. And now 2nd down and long, 2nd and 10. Ball at the 33. Gibsonburg leading Waynesfield Goshen 3-0 in the first quarter. They fake the handoff. Now they give it off. That's Love on the carry, and he is going to be drugged down from behind. He might have got a yard, but that's about it. Excellent job there. Decker DeVore coming in to make the stop. First team All-SBC, Decker DeVore.
Yeah, not the gap I'd like to attack if I'm an opposing offense.
No.
Another 3rd down situation.
Tusai back to pass. Rolls to his right, directing traffic. He's going to have to run, and he takes it out of bounds. He's going to be driven out. And that's going to bring up 4th down. Decker DeVore applying the pressure and driving him out of bounds. That'll be a loss of a yard. 4th and 11 coming up here. And this is decision time here if you're the Bruins. What do you do, Tommy? 4th and 11. This is a long down and distance to convert, but, I mean, You send the punt unit out here, maybe? It looks like that's what they're going to do. Owen Lee back deep to punt.
Well,
Tornadoes have nobody back deep to return here.
Well, when you're not trading scores during the first stanza of action, might be the better discretion to just punt it away here and allow your defense to go to work. But that takes a bounce back. That ball bounced back towards him almost 10 yards.
Well, it's because they smacked it.
Oh, is that it?
The Bruins smacked it at the 20-yard line to make it go backwards. They did that earlier in the after they punted, but I don't think he smacked it. I think he actually grabbed it. Colonel Crawford up on Cary 7-0 over in Cary. Of course, you can find that game over on the X stream. Dominic Helmstetter and Zach Dillon on the call with Connor Roush over there in Cary for that one. And
huge rematch as Cary just able to slip past Colonel Crawford in their last encounter 7-3.
Well, they're going to need more than a touchdown this time, Tommy, as they're down 7-0 to the Eagles. Tornadoes take over at the 20-yard line, handoff to Brockington. Ball is on the ground, and the Bruins have the possession. They knock the ball out, and they recover the football. Fumble recovered at the 22-yard line.
I think that was Devin Shaw Mason for the Bruins, coming up with a huge turnover as Columbian. We're going to come out of the blockade there, put the ball in the hand of Brockington, and Brockington coughs it up. Uncharacteristic.
There's not been a whole lot of running room in the middle of that defense, though, Tommy. They are tight in the middle of that D.
This is where these playoff games are decided, if you're able to get points off of turnovers here.
1st and 10. Handoff off the right side. Running back
gonna
breaks a tackle, breaks another, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Padua. Marquise Hall on the touchdown. That one coming to you from 23 yards out. Now let's take a look at that one once again on your replay cam. Brought to you by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant.
Little counter ran there, hat on a hat. Can't get any better. Finds the edge and able to find Pater to put the Bruins up 6-0. And the Bruins draw first blood here from Frost County Stadium in this regional quarterfinal. So on that Padua Franciscan last drive, started from the 1, got all the way down to around the 20-yard line. Oh, and the extra point is no good as Al Sequani brings some pressure. But yeah, like we were talking about, Nate, I mean, Padua Franciscan, Columbian defense was able to stand strong as the Bruins made their way into enemy territory, but then a costly turnover in their own territory by the Tornadoes. The Bruins were allowed to finish what they started.
Uncharacteristic turnover by Damian Brockington. As Tommy, he only had one fumble on the entire regular season. Coming into this game, only one fumble. Over 1,500 yards, almost 1,600 yards on the season. Just that one fumble.
207-1, and it makes up all the difference right here. As now the Bruins up 6-0. Tornadoes really haven't had much going here offensively throughout the first 12 minutes of action. The kick is away. Ball is going to be fielded right around the 20-yard line. I think Brockington's going to bring it up right around the 40-yard line there. Well, the Tornadoes on their last drive, first play from the line of scrimmage, coughed the ball up, allowing the Bruins to turn that turnover into points. Now, Rogo will take over in the gun, running back on his hip. Rogo's going to air it out here long to start, and it's caught! It's caught!
And he coasts his way into the end zone for the touchdown!
Corper from 60 yards out on the first play, making up for that costly error in that last possession. makes up for it here. A 60-yard bomb and a huge study by Corper. Breaks away. Goodbye. Good night.
So an answer is just what the doctor ordered right there for Tiffin Columbian.
Zimmerman kicks the ball away to give the Tornadoes a chance to go up, and it is good. And like we talked about, Nate, in these tightly contested matchups, especially in week 12, 1 point can be all the difference. One possession can be all the difference. And, man, this one thus far has had all the fixings.
That's absolutely right, Tommy. This is exactly what the doctor ordered right here if you're a football fan. You want a good game. That's all you're asking for. Well, folks, you're going to have a good one here tonight.
And that must be something that the coaches have really dialed in on film. You've seen a second opportunity where Columbian tried to find mismatch and man coverage, and Rogo, not afraid to air it out, finally comes away with pay dirt on that one to Corper. And now Tornadoes up by 1, 7-6, 2:25 remaining in the first quarter of action from Frost Cow Stadium. Don't forget, over on the X stream, you'll find Cary, Colonel Crawford in the N10 rematch in their regional quarterfinal. Live from Cary, Ohio. Dominic Helmstetter, Zach Dillon on the call as this one is going to be filled right around the 15. And it's,
He's got some blockers.
oh.
Tackle up high by Sam Zimmerman as he brings him down at the 35-yard line. The kicker comes down to make the stop. And they're a little fired up on the sideline there for that one.
Who let the rocket under Zimmerman as he beat the coverage down.
Over 1st and 10.
So Tusai, after allowing the touchdown, hand it off here to Hall. Hall tries to turn it to the outside, decides to bring it right back up. It's Love. Only able to make about,
Brady Bonnell brings up 2nd down.
yeah, about five or six on the play. Side back in the gun, 2nd and 4 now. That's a handoff to Love again, but he's going to be wrapped up by Musa.
Glove on the carry. Tackle on the play by Evan Mersch.
Or Evan Mersch actually on the stop.
Gain of 2 yards on the play brings up 3rd down.
And that's what's nice is Love usually able to just turn on the jets and shed those tackles. But when those big ham hocks get a hold of you, you're seeing Tiffin Columbian interior defense able to come up with stops.
Yeah. We'll check in with our sideline reporter, Dan Hartsel, as we got a timeout on the field. Of course, timeouts tonight brought to you by your friends at UIS Insurance and Investments. Padua takes the timeout here, Tommy, and we'll keep it right here with 1:11 left to play here in the first quarter. 7-6, Tiffin Columbian. Now, Tommy, let's talk about these keys to the game brought to you by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. We haven't talked about this game, coming into this. You don't know what to expect with this Bruins team. You got this 6-5 record, and a lot of people like us, we're media guys. We look at records, we look at stats and all that stuff, but you can't tell a book by its cover with this team, man. This is a tough team.
Oh, absolutely, and the keys to this one, Tiffin Columbian is going to have to dance with what brought them and know what they're familiar with. And, again, you can't allow this one to turn into a shootout. Just take care of business up front, and the rest will follow.
And that's going to be a first down as Marquise Hall picks up the first down, carries it inside Tornado territory down to the 49-yard line. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Dan Hartsel. Dan, little back and forth action here, but how's it feel to be back down on the sidelines here at Frost Cow now?
Great. This is a special for high school football for a shootout. You know, I think it's going to depend on the front lines there, see who handles that. But the extra point and that tackle by Sam Zimmerman are huge for the Tornadoes right now.
Yeah, that's a great point. Sam Zimmerman, so far, you know, the difference, the 1 point difference, 7-6, down to 29 seconds here in the first quarter as Tusai looks to the sideline for the play adjustment.
Yeah, Hall able to get 2 yards on that last play. See if they go to him again.
Tusai slings it out right side. That's complete to his receiver.
Turf Monster gets him, though.
And he'll be brought down as Borky slides down right at the first down marker, so that should be good enough, and it will be good enough to move the chains. And that should be the final play of the first quarter. And indeed it is. Your score as we get set to start the second quarter of action, 7-6, Tiffin Columbian on top of Padua Franciscan. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after this. You're locked in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Stay right here. You're locked in on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
How are we doing, guys? My name is Joey Krajewski, co-host of the Over Under podcast on Heart of Ohio Sports. Make sure you tune in every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock and every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Thank you, guys.
Be sure to give us a like, follow, and subscribe to Heart of Ohio Sports on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter.
All right, and we're back here at Frost Cow Stadium. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall on the call. We've got Bailey Mullins manning the main camera, my wife Chelsea Mullins manning the sideline camera, and we've got Dan Hartsel down on the sidelines tonight. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by, presented by, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union and Xcaret Mexican Restaurant.
Tusai. Tusai's going to send a man in motion, and he's going to hand that off. Roderick Love carves his way up. You thought he was going to try to attack the edge there on that counter, but instead finds a nice little hole right in the A-gap. Squirts through, gets a gain of 10, and they're just going to run that same play again, this time to the outside, and he's going to be cleaned up right around the second level. I think that was Brockington on the stop. No, it was Scheiber. So, I mean, these Bruins offensive line, they're getting their man. They're able to do tremendous things in the trenches. Just got to get a little bit more pressure here defensively. As that time they swallow him up. Oh no, he gets away from him. As Roderick Love. Evan Mersch makes the stop, though. Roderick Love continues to carve up this defense, getting about 3 or 4 yards per carry. So another third down for Padua Franciscan. They've been able to convert 4 or 5 here tonight.
Timeout. Tiffin Columbian saw something they did not like, and wisely, Coach Lutz gets in there and calls that timeout. We'll keep it right here. Of course, timeout's brought to you by UIS Insurance and Investments. I'm going to give a huge shout-out to Andy Steffi and Jeff Leopold, and all the fine folks down there at UIS. Mitch Felton. Once again, a huge shout out to all of our sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to Xcaret Mexican Restaurant and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union as our presenting sponsors. Also thanks to Clouse Electric, UIS Insurance, First National Bank of Sycamore, MST Sauce Co, Phillips Electric, Rodgers Flowers, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, and added this week, Happy Days Nutrition. You ever been over there to Happy Days? Get you a nice little shaky?
Yeah, they do a really good job over there of promoting health, nutrition, and
That's
also
right.
community and family over that way. So, you know, again, if you're part of that family over there, it brings you that Happy Day nutrition. You know, again, they make you feel like family when you stop over there.
That's right. Third down.
That should be
Two
pass
sides
interference.
stepping up into the pocket. There's a hold, and that's going to get called. Two sides going to take off and run. Tries to stretch to get the first down. It's going to be all for naught, though, as this one's coming back.
I mean, they might get the,
Holding called against the Bruins.
the Tornadoes might have got away with one there. They got some pass interference. Getting a little handsy there in the secondary. Can't call what you don't see, apparently, though.
So this will move the Bruins back even further. Spot of the foul was right at the 39 or 29-yard line, so it'll move it back to the 39. So that's a costly penalty. Cost them about 15 yards there. So you got about a 3rd and 23 coming up here. Tusai all by himself, empty backfield. 3 receivers here on the near side of the field, 2 on the far side.
The Bruins were able to convert on a 3rd and 14 earlier.
Tusai back to pass. Looking. Slings it over the middle, and that one's
one skips into the
incomplete as that
ground.
skips off the turf. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Wow.
So Tiffin Columbian, Tornado defense, comes up with a big stop there on 3rd and long. And it looks like they're going to bring out the punt unit.
You know, you play all 4 quarters, you play 48 minutes, and, man, this thing is kind of playing itself out like in 3 different acts. You really haven't seen exactly what this Tornado squad is capable of, as they've had a few stops, a few hiccups offensively, but then an instant scoring offense. So you really haven't had a great look at the Tornado offense thus far. But in the Bruins here, they've just really controlled the tempo offensively, but they got to be able to finish drives.
Oh, the punt nearly blocked as
Get away from it, poison.
Alzaquani gets his hand in there, nearly got a hold of it, but that punt takes a friendly Bruin roll as it goes out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Boy, for the pressure they had on that punt, Tommy, it didn't look like he got a very good punt off, but, man, Tornadoes are going to take over at their own 6. That's effective right there.
Well, the Tornado front really needs to get underway here. Take over, get some control, as you really haven't got to see much of the run game, as one of the only runs you've seen of the game resulted in a fumble. And thus far, Tiffin Columbian kind of sticking to the passing game right now.
Tornadoes take over at their own 6-yard line. 1 man in the backfield. 2 receivers set. Rogo, handoff, Brockington. And he's going to be brought down right about the 8-yard line, just a 2-yard gain. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
That's what these Bruins are doing nicely, a nice job of defensively, is you usually see Brockington able to get them second chance opportunity yards, averaging 7.9 yards a carry. But as you've seen it there, once he was able to lower the shoulder, drive his legs for a few more yards, the Bruins were able to get a stop there.
Well, I tell you what, Tommy, Jesse Hayes, number 9, it looks like he's got to be out of here quickly.
Another dart!
Oh, incomplete, intended for Brady Gooding. But number 9 there on the defense, it looks like he's going to have to wrap this up and get out of here quickly because he's got to suit up for tomorrow's game. That's a noon kickoff for Ohio State, so.
Oh, jeez, oh, Pete.
Just saying, like.
6'7", 235. This boy's been big since he was little.
So a 3rd and long coming up here for the Tornadoes. Rogo, high snap. Slings it down the right sideline. It's incomplete, but hey, there comes a flag as it flies from the back judge all the way across the field. Now, the receiver and the defender were definitely hand fighting down the field, but I will say this. Michael Harrell, he definitely had a hold of the jersey, and that's going to be the call every time. You can't hold on to the jersey. You can hand fight all you want. They'll let that go for the most part as long as they're both jockeying for position. But it's when you tug on that jersey, that's when you're going to get called for it every time. So it's going to be holding against the defense. And that'll be a first down for Tiffin Columbian. So that is very for the Bruins. Tornadoes lead 7-6, 9:12 left to play here in the first half. Rogo in the shotgun. Slings it over the middle. Oh, intended for Corper, but man, just a little bit off there as I think he was just trying to lead his guy a little bit too far out in front there, Tommy.
Hey, you can't force throws.
That's right.
I mean, again, when you're a Division I prospect like Rogo, you know, he's able to air it out and lead these receivers and get the ball where it needs to be, but you got to give the receiver a chance to get there.
That's right. Rogo slings it right side.
That one away.
Incomplete. Brady Gooding, the intended receiver. So it's going to be 3rd and long here. 3rd and 10, ball at the 18-yard line.
When you got these tightly contested matchups, I mean, it's also a game of field position, and if you're just going to try to air it out and have these incompletes, I mean, you're already facing a 3rd and 10 on your own 18.
Rogo. They're trying to set up the screen here as they got Brockington. They get it out to him.
Is he going to? No, he's not.
And he's not going to get enough for the first down as they'll drag him down just past the 25 up to the 26. So he's going to be about a yard short. And that will bring out the punt unit. Oh.
Like Mr. Burns, the Bruins released the hounds on that one.
They really did.
Oh, man, that was scary. Set up by design, though. Brockington just not able to get enough there. 9 yards on that play.
So they're going to go for it. Rogo keeps it himself.
Nope.
I don't think he got it.
Nope.
I don't think he got it. That was a bold call there, going with the quarterback keeper on 4th and 1. But they actually lost a yard there.
Get out of the gun.
That's one thing I've never understood. Well, you know.
You got a guy that averages 7.9 yards. I know you're trying to catch the defense sleeping. But a huge, huge turnover on the gamble by Tiffin Columbian. Sometimes you got to remember that, you know, you're in the lead and you're also hosting this game, so you got to play like you've been there before. And that gamble does not pay off for Coach Lutz and his TC squad. And Padua Franciscan going to come out in the gun here.
8:23 left here in the first half. Handoff to Love off the right side, and nothing doing there as the defense comes up with the stop in the backfield. Carter Groves on the stop.
I just wanted you to hit that. Well, after the gamble on their last drive for the Tornadoes, now this defense is tasked with an unenviable job in trying to stop this offense.
Handoff to Love up the middle, and the defense once again right there to make the stop. Boy, he was slammed to the turf there, Tommy.
You got 3 different guys that can give you a running look for the Bruins. And in some respect, you know, you keep running that counter trap, kind of makes you one-dimensional in a sense because now you're starting to catch on to tendencies.
3rd and long. Pistol set here. 2 receivers on each side of the formation. Tusai looks to the sideline for the play adjustment. Makes the play call to his running back. That's Roderick Love in the backfield with him. Tusai back to pass. They're setting up the screen here, and he just grounds it right into the ground there.
Now that's how you get the pressure. Arms up, hands up.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah, they say that was a...
They're going to say that ball was batted. It was an intentional grounding. There was no receiver anywhere near
Dan,
where he threw that down.
What are you seeing? You got bird's eye view.
What do you got down there?
Got a receiver in the backfield there for the quarterback to give it to. So obviously a easy penalty to call there for the officials.
Yeah.
Great play by the Columbian front four to kind of keep that rushing game silenced for Padua.
Yeah, and that'll be a loss of down. So that'll bring up 4th down. Big stop by that TC defense. And you mentioned it, Dan. Big stop by that defensive front.
Remember,
that was a big series right there by that defensive front, Tommy, because they turned the ball over inside their own. I mean, it was 20. Yeah, they had 27 yards to go.
And this would be from the 46 now.
Wow. Bruins get the punt away.
He gets a hold of it.
And it'll be fielded at the 15. Corper on the return. Brings it past the 20 up to the 23-yard line. Jack Corper.
Sang his praises all year long about that different look Corper gives your special teams. And Padua Franciscan, they came in with every facet and every phase of the game in check here tonight.
That's right. They did their homework. They knew what they had to do to keep this one under wraps here. 7-6 Tiffin Columbian, 6:44 left to play here in the first half. Take a look around the area at our scoreboard, brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. We'll look at that after this play. Braden Rogo in the shotgun formation, one back in the backfield, 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Handoff, Brockington up the middle. Oh, he's tripped up at the line, but man, Tommy, it was there.
They
just got to keep going to it.
Brockington was just running with reckless abandon there.
Shot out of a cannon.
Oh, man.
Of course, over on the X stream, you can find Cary versus Colonel Crawford. A game coming to you live from Cary, Ohio. Rogo, handoff. Brockington up the middle. He's got the first down. Should have it up to the 33-yard line, and that's good enough to move the chains.
And finally get these hog mollies in position to be effective for you. And, man, Farmer Judd doesn't run short of hog mollies, as this squad has led the SBC in rushing, 2,541 yards coming into tonight.
Fake the handoff. Rogo slings it over the middle. He's got it to his receiver, and that's complete. Up to the 45-yard line, Jack Corper. They'll mark him down at the 44, but that's good enough for a first down.
And that's another unsung praise about the big boys up front, giving their quarterback time to remain calm in the pocket and find his receiver.
Rogo in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers on the far side. They fake the handoff, sling it over the middle. Bryce Rogo on the reception to the 40-yard line.
Bryce just wrapped that up.
Woo! The Rogo connection, good for 16 yards. Give him 17, down to the 39.
Swinging that ball like a nailer baby.
Quickly back up to the line, the offense ready to call the next play. Handoff, Brockington off the right side. He's got running room to the 35, cuts inside to the 30, and he's going to be brought down right at the 31-yard line. Damian Brockington, give him 8 yards on that first down carry, sets him up with a 2nd and 2. 5 minutes and 5 seconds left here in the first half. Make sure you stick around for the First National Bank of Sycamore halftime show. We'll bring you the halftime performance. The Tiffin Columbian Marching Band. Rogo, pump fake, slings it out left side, complete. Bryce Rogo on the reception. Beautiful catch at the 15-yard line.
Oh, Brogo to Brogo connection pays off as Columbian continuing to drive here. Ball at the 14. Rogo in the gun. Sends a man in motion. Got Brockington on his hip.
Fake the handoff. Rogo slings it into the end zone. Knocked
nice
away.
coverage by the
But
Bruins.
you're going to have pass interference. He had him hooked, Tommy. He had that back arm hook. Let's take a look at that one once again.
We'll see
We'll see what the call was here. Let's take a look once again. Slings it into the end zone. Yeah, had that back arm hook there, Tommy.
God, it's just one little grab.
That's
enough, though. That's enough. I mean, he came up with a huge. He would have came up with a huge play defensively, regardless. Just, it's hard to say because we're not down there battling it out in the secondary. And man, I wouldn't want to. An ineligible man downfield.
Also, there were 2 penalties. Pass interference and an ineligible man downfield. Offsetting penalties means we'll replay the down.
An ineligible man downfield is a 15-yard penalty?
Well, they offset. If there's penalties on both teams, doesn't matter the yardage, they offset.
I thought it was both on Tiffin Columbian. I was like, yeah, 2 plays?
Sideline camera. Brought to you by the lovely Chelsea Mullins. Handoff for Brockington up the middle, and he is into the end zone. No, he's going to be down right at the 1. Let's take a look at that one once again here. As, man, he was so close, Tommy. Oh, so close,
Look
so
at Chelsea's
close.
camera.
Oh, that's
Right
a
here.
beautiful perspective right there.
We'll see it.
Right there at the 1-yard line.
This is where.
Handoff, Brockington into the end zone. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. Let's take a look at that one once again here, folks. Beautiful camera angle brought to you by Chelsea Mullins down on the sideline. And that beautiful touchdown run brought to you by Damian Brockington. Now, Tommy, we talked about Brockington in the pregame, but after this extra point, let's talk about him once again because you got a little something special drawn up after last week's game.
Brockington once again continuing to add on to this tremendous season as the extra point is blocked.
Zimmerman's extra point is blocked.
And that's going to pay. That'd be something to keep an eye on as Columbian was leading by a point earlier. But yeah, man, like I talked about, Damian Brockington just married to the run. This coming into the night, 1,598 yards on 207 attempts, 25 tutties, make that 26 now. And last week, 3 touchdowns in 1 game.
Who did that?
Well,
Brockington?
Yeah, Brockington.
But somebody else did it too. They bragged about it all the time.
I think it was a Pokai legend. But man, he's just Damian Brockington.
You think he'll brag about it for the rest of his life? Tell his kids about that time he scored 3 touchdowns in a playoff game?
Oh, yeah. I still brag about my football days. You know, the older I get, the better I was.
Once again, thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Tonight's broadcast presented by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union and Xcaret Mexican Restaurant in the Tiffin Mall. If you are finding yourself in a position where you're thinking about getting a new car, don't just go to the dealership, folks. Go get yourself pre-approved.
Yeah, there's nothing I hate more than, because I sell vehicles myself, and bringing your own financing, it kind of takes away from the middleman.
That's right. Zimmerman kicks it off. It's fielded at the 15-yard line, brought up to the 20, and he's going to be brought down right at the 23-yard line.
Look at that.
Yep. Take a look around the area at some of these scores because there were some surprising scores I see coming up on the scoreboard here. Now, of course, the winner of tonight's game will go on to face the winner of the Clyde and Norton game. Right now, the Panthers leading Clyde 14-13 in the second quarter. Glenville leading Bellevue 18-6, that game in Cleveland. You got Gibsonburg leading Waynesfield Goshen 10-0 at halftime. Colonel Crawford on top of Cary 14-7 in the second quarter. And Van Wert leading Perkins 13-2. Also, you have Hopewell Loudon trailing Columbia 7-0. Those are your area teams still in action here.
Tusai has
over
a man
the middle. He's
open.
got a man down the field. It's complete at the 45, and down to the 40-yard line is DeJohn Telfair.
huge.
See
46
if we caught
yard
that one
reception.
in time there. Nope, didn't catch it. 46-yard reception moves it down to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 Bruins. 13-6 Tiffin Columbian. 3:31 left here in the first half, but the Bruins driving as they move left to right. Handoff. That's Love off the left side. He's got some running room. He's got lots of speed. He makes a cutback, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Padua Franciscan.
Once again, the Bruins not shying away after being shut down that last drive. Still following that counter, following the big bodies. And Roderick Love finds pay dirt. And now the Bruins with a chance to tie this one pending the extra point.
Boy, that was fast. Like fast. Yeah, I think they're going to. Yeah, they're going to keep the offense on the field here for the 2-point conversion. So a handoff up the middle, Love on the carry, and he is in for the 2-point conversion. So the Bruins will take the lead 14-13 with 3:15 left to play here in the first half. It's going to be a ball game here tonight, folks.
Well, the Bruins have found ways to open up gaps and find those open lanes, and that's exactly what Franciscan did there. We're not afraid to go after it as they went for 2 to take the lead. Not only, again, they went for the lead rather than just tying it. Tiffin Columbian, about 5 plays on their last drive to find pay dirt. Doesn't take the most time to score, but what it does is, again, gives plenty of opportunities to Padua Franciscan. Now Tiffin Columbian's offense will get a chance to go right back to work now.
They'll field it at the 15. Corper on the return brings it back to about the 25-yard line.
Lamont Davis with a huge stop.
Actually, that was Brockington on the return. Columbian will take over at their own 24-yard line. Rogo slings it out left side, complete. Up to the 23-yard line. Actually going to lose a yard on the play. Brockington, the receiver. Defense wasn't fooled on that one. They were ready for it. 2nd down and 11. Shotgun set. 3 receivers out far side. 1 here on the near side. Rogo back to pass. Slings it left side. That's incomplete. He was trying to find Bryce Rogo right around the 32-yard line, but a little too tall for his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 3rd and long. 3rd and 11 coming up here. One thing in my conversation with Judd Lutz out of Benchwarmers this past Tuesday night for the Coach's Corner, one thing he mentioned is this team is deep, Tommy. They platoon. They will platoon. They have 11 starters on both sides of the ball. Now, they do have a couple guys who will play both ways, but for the most part,
they got some bodies they can move around.
Yeah, absolutely. Rogo back to pass, 3rd and long, slings it over the middle. It's complete. 1st down, Tiffin Columbian, as Jack Corper makes the reception and gets it down to the 44-yard line.
Well, you only need one body on that one. Our man Corper comes up with a huge reception and a huge 1st down to bring the Paddles out to this seemingly dying drive as we are facing a 3rd and long there.
So a 1st and 10 at the 44. Shotgun set, Rogo back to pass. And it's going going to be stripped out of his hand from behind as he tried to bring that one forward, but I think
That should be
I'm not sure. I thought that was more of a tuck.
Okay,
Yeah.
good pass.
A little bit of a tuck rule there, maybe. No, he didn't catch it in time. So a second down and 10. 2:12 left to play here in the first half. Tiffin Columbian trailing 14-13 to the Bruins.
Bruins are going to load the box here.
Tornadoes sling it out right, complete. That's Corper on the reception, makes a couple guys miss. A flag flies in from the back judge. That's usually face mask.
That back judge tossed that thing about 20 yards.
He's got an arm on him, I'm telling you. I've seen him chuck a couple of them. Yeah, I think the Browns are looking for a new quarterback. Maybe I give this guy a tryout.
Oh,
So that'll be free yardage for Tiffin Columbian as it moves it to the 42-yard line. 2 minutes and 2 seconds left here in the first half. Ball at the 42, shotgun formation. One back in the backfield. Three receivers here near side. Rogo back to pass, rolls to his left. Rolling, looking. He's going to take off and run with it. He's going to take it out of bounds past the 40 up inside to the 39-yard line is where he'll be marked out of bounds. Just a 3-yard gain, but that's better than taking a sack there, Tommy. That was a coverage situation there. Coverage did a great job down the field.
Yeah, nothing pretty about this one, this regional quarterfinal. I mean, it's ugly as a mud fence. Kind of hard to get a grasp on whether or not if this is just tremendous defense we're witnessing out on the field or what exactly is the deal. But, man, this game of the bowling shoe variety throughout the first 24 minutes. And, man, Nate, I tell you what. What's the mindset here? I mean, are you taking care of business? Is the game plan going according to plan, or is you still looking to try to establish the tempo here, try to one of these two teams, it seems like neither team can get the full momentum here.
I think you're going to see that with this game throughout the game. I think this is going to be a back-and-forth contest, Tommy. This is not going to be decided in the first half. It's not going to be decided in the third quarter. This is going to be one of those games that's going to be decided in the fourth quarter. And so, folks, you're not going to want to go anywhere for – I'm telling you, this is going to be one heck of a ball game. I think for Tiffin Columbian, they're just playing their ball game. They're letting this game come to them. I feel like they're not trying to force anything. You've seen that with the running game so far. They're not trying to force the issue, but it's there when they need it. And, they're trying to play their ball game here. You don't see Rogo run the ball very often, so it feels like, whenever he does, maybe they're getting out of their game plan a little bit. But I feel like maybe that was their intention coming into this, was telling him, hey, look, if it's not there, just take off, go. You've got wheels. You got the wheels to get those extra yards that we need. It's much better to take a 3-yard gain than a 4-yard loss.
Maybe that's an earmark of a good one on your hands is when you can't tell if it's a good one.
That's right.
Just blue collar, nose of the grindstone, slugfest.
Rogo in the shotgun. 3 receivers off far to the right, 1 here on the near side. Braden Rogo back to pass, slings it down the field. He's got a man down the field, and it's going to be brought down.
It's intercepted.
And they're going to say picked off at the 5-yard line.
That one had way too much air under it. Took too much time to get
up
there.
In the air. We're going to have to take a look at that one again because I'm not sure what exactly happened there.
Oh, look at this one.
No, we didn't get it in time.
Yeah, Rogo threw it up in the lights. Kind of got tied up in the coverage. Ball bounced up and into the hands of an awaiting defender. The tip drill pays dividends as the Tornadoes' second turnover here tonight.
I thought the ball went to the ground, but no, it went up in the air. Tipped it up. Love came down with it, and now the Bruins with a chance to add on to their lead here before halftime. 1:31 left to play here in the first half. Bruins with 2 timeouts in their back pocket.
And that's a different conversation, being down at the half and being up.
Sling it out left side. It's complete.
Look at that one-on-one matchup. Bruins relying on that mismatch in the secondary almost. Make that a mano-a-mano situation.
No urgency here, Tommy. No urgency as they were tackled inbounds. No first down, so down to 1 minute and 5 seconds here. To Cy. Fakes the handoff. Now slings it over the middle. He had a receiver, but he underthrows him. Boy, Tommy, they caught a break there as Freddie Borky was wide open across the middle of the field. Found that soft spot in the seam there. But Cy unable to give him a good ball there. 3rd and 5 coming up. Or 3rd and 3, actually. Two receivers here on the near side of the field, one on the far side, one man in the backfield. That's Caden Fioc in the backfield. Fioc.
I'm not even going to touch that one tonight.
Yeah. Handoff, Fioc off the left. And he breaks a tackle, and he's into the open, and he's going to be into the end zone for the touchdown.
Quick as a hiccup. Fioc turns the corner, turns the edge, turns on the Jets, and finds Pater to put the Bruins up 20-13 now. Well, maybe 21, pending the extra point, or if they go for 2.
Well, why would they go for 2? Now they have the lead they're looking for here, Tommy. Now you're just going to line up and go for the extra point.
Yeah, sometimes you might not have a kicking game.
We'll find out here as they missed the first one.
That would be the second touchdown off of turnovers, and Tiffin Columbian putting themselves right out of this one.
And that kick is up and through. Makes your score 21-13. Bruins on top of Tiffin Columbian here at Frost Counthouse Stadium. Tornadoes now trail by 8. 47 seconds left here before halftime. And the Tornadoes, they're going to have to find a way to put some points on the board here, Tommy. They got 2 timeouts left, 47 seconds. What do you do?
I mean, this is one of those situations where, you know, Braden Rogo, he can give you instant offense faster than instant oatmeal, as he can put points on the board, but you still got to be smart with the ball. Another turnover like you just witnessed where Tiffin Columbian was driving, seemingly trying to keep the driver's seat into the half, able to put points on the board. Didn't go their way as a Rogo, you know, threw one up, got caught.
That's now 14 points off turnovers, Tommy.
Yep, and then
you don't win very many games when you're behind in that stat.
So now Tiffin Columbian going to be forced to right the ship here with 47 seconds left, or just take this one into the half.
Fielded at the 15-yard line. Corper on the return, and he's going to be brought down at the 26-yard line.
In the return game, once again, not much real estate for Tiffin Columbian to work with to start another drive.
Tornadoes take over at their own 26, 41 seconds, 2 timeouts. They've got some time here, but not a whole lot. They've got to get a big chunk play somewhere in this drive. I think in this first play here, Tommy, I'm almost under the impression, just hand it off. Try to get a draw play here maybe. See what you can get. If you can pick up 8, 9, 10 yards, call one of those timeouts and then put together your game plan for the rest of the drive.
I like that screen we saw over the middle last week.
I do too, but I think Padua Franciscan probably saw that thing too.
They wouldn't line up in that coverage.
Rogo back to pass, slings it out left side.
Comes
That's
back
complete to Bryce Rogo. And Bryce scoots out of bounds at the 34-yard line, good for 8 yards.
That's what Rogo can do for you in that Brogo connection is you play the sideline, knows where he needs to be.
Second
right
and
there,
2.
had to readjust.
Rogo slings it out. It's complete. New Love on the reception, goes down past the 45 to the 46-yard line.
They're going to run up to the ball.
And they'll stop the clock momentarily until the chains are set. And now that clock continues to roll. 25 seconds. Rogo in the shotgun. Back to pass. Slings it right side. Completes it.
Cuts
That's
it right over the
Brady
middle.
Gooding on the reception. And he's got it up to the 43-yard line, and a timeout is called with 17 seconds left here in the first half. So Tiffin Columbian moving the ball now, but they've got quite a bit to go here with just one timeout remaining. They've got to cover 44 yards here, Tommy, in just 17 seconds.
You get a chance to draw one deep here, and then you get a chance to maybe throw out a screen, use your last timeout, and give yourself a short field and window to throw in there in the end zone. But
of course, timeouts tonight brought to you by UIS Insurance and Investments. Huge thank you to all the fine folks at UIS for their contributions to the streams here tonight. Sponsor with us on both streams. 21-13 your score. Bruins leading Tiffin Columbian. 17 seconds left. Tornadoes have the possession at the 44-yard line. Boy, a touchdown would make this a lot better coming out of the locker room, as the Bruins will take the opening kickoff of the second half. Rogo slings it out right side, and that one is going to be intercepted again. Picked off once again by the Bruins at the 26-yard line. Yeah, intercepted. Picked off at the 26-yard line. So just 12 seconds left here in the first half.
I mean, that's one of those danged if you do, danged if you don't type plays anyway.
And Braden Rogo has had a rough first half here. 3 interceptions here in the first half. (21-13) Bruins.
Was it 3 or was it 2 interceptions and a fumble?
I thought he had 3 interceptions. I'm not sure. Maybe it's 2. Handoff.
Oh, you can't. Oh!
Fjork on the carry. And that's the final play of the first half. So your score, Padua Franciscan 21, Tiffin Columbian 13. We'll step aside. We'll bring you the halftime show courtesy of the Tiffin Columbian Marching Band. And we'll come back and break down the first half, get you set for the second half of action live here at Frost County Stadium. You're tuned in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Like, follow, and subscribe to Heart of Ohio Sports on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter.
Hey guys, this is Aaron Steyer from the Over Under Pod. You catch us every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 8:30. Come join the fun.
Greg Ken here, and you're locked in to high school football right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
Stay right here. You're locked in on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Small business owners need somebody that can open the door to financing. And at First National Bank of Sycamore, we love opening the door for financing opportunities.
UIS Insurance and Investments, your hometown agency providing a full range of insurance and financial services with a local touch. Contact your homegrown agent, Jeff Leopold, for a professional review today at 419-447-4242, extension 1144. Catch up on all the scores from the night before on the Saturday Scoreboard Show, live every Saturday at 9 a.m. on Heart of Ohio Sports. Hey, this is Nate Mullins here. You're watching high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Stay right here. You're locked in on Heart of Ohio Sports. Clouse Electric is a veteran and family-owned full-service electrical contracting firm that has grown to be a first-class electrical contractor serving Northwest Ohio. Their mission is to provide high-quality commercial and industrial electrical projects in a timely manner. They do this by forming and training a professional team of employees who are dedicated to their core values, conscious of safe work practices, all while forming long-term relationships with their customers. Visit their website for more information at clouseelectric.com. Don't fumble your chance to catch the Coach's Corner live from Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery every Tuesday night at 6:30, featuring interviews from coaches from all around the area and some of the best food you can find. Come on out and join us at Benchwarmers or tune in to the live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or you can find us on our website, heartofohiosports.com. Hey, this is Nate Mullins here. You're watching high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
Sorry. Yeah. How are we doing?
There ain't no mountain high enough and no valley low enough for our marching Bruins. Featuring Joseph Bontempo on viola, we bring you Ain't No Mountain High Enough. To finish our halftime performance and close out the spooky spirit of Halloween, we bring you Michael Jackson's Thriller, featuring Justin Hill on guitar. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Marching Bruins with Director Ms. Jessica Johnson, dancing Director Mrs. Lisa Check, and Color Guard Director Ms. Kate Budzik. Thank you for joining us tonight, and as always, go Bruins!
Good evening, Tiffin. We direct your attention to the far sideline, where you'll see and hear the pride of Tiffin Columbian High School, the 2022 edition of our Marching 120, the Tiffin Columbian Band, Flag, and Dance Squad. Our band is under the direction of Mr. Michael Meadows and Mr. Trenton Thacker. Our flag and dance squad are under the direction of Mrs. Danielle Blues, assisted by Chloe Gibson. Marching 120 begins this evening with a drill to a 1988 hit by the American rock band Guns N' Roses. From their debut album, Appetite for Destruction, comes their only Billboard Hot 100 #1 single. Let's watch our band drill to Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine. Our next song features the wing of our flag and dance squad. This song song was recorded in 2003 by the American rock band The Killers. The title is quite descriptive of the women of our flag and dance line. It peaked at number 10 in both the United States and Great Britain. Watch and listen as our band plays and our women do their thing to Mr. Brightside. Everybody knows our Marching 120 is a band that loves to have fun and boogie down and dance. So our final selection is a melodic rap selection by Lil Nas. It was a collaboration between Lil Nas and Kanye West. Watch as our band dances featuring a drum break to Industry, baby. Gentlemen, we have the Tiffin Columbian Marching 120, Tiffin Columbian Marching Band, Flag and Dance Squad.
All right, here we are, guys. Welcome back. Frost County Stadium, Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call. We've got our First National Bank of Sycamore halftime show up next for you. Let's break down that first half of action, shall we, Tommy? Because 21-13, I don't think a lot of people were expecting this, but hey, these Bruins, they came to play here today.
I knew as soon as I seen the opponent coming out of the Crown Conference over there in the greater Cleveland area that Tiffin Columbian might be out of their element here. As we talk about week 12, you're not going to run short of any tough opponents, as there's a reason why you make it to week 12 and you can't overlook any opponent. Tiffin Columbian off to a rocky start as they came out, were able to put points on the board, but 3 turnovers in that first half alone, Nate, has really changed the complexion here, as off those 3 turnovers, Padua, Marquise Hall running in for 22 yards, touchdown. Then after that, Tiffin to set things off, Columbian, Rogos pass to number 4 Corporate for 60 yards. That was the first TC score of the game. Then on the ensuing drive by Tiffin Columbian, Damian Brockington running in from 1 yard out. And you really started seeing Tiffin Columbian kind of start cooking with some gas, but once again, costly turnovers after an interception. Roderick Love runs for 40 yards, touchdown, 2-point conversion was successful. And then after another turnover, Caden Fayette runs in for 38 yards and a touchdown on Padua's ensuing drive. So points off turnovers has really been the key thing to keep an eye on in this one, is Tiffin Columbian shooting themselves in the foot, playing host here in this regional quarterfinal. And in the second half, they have to come out and act like they've been here, like they're the host team in this playoff.
Yeah, absolutely. And, when you look at this Padua Franciscan team, they started out 0-3, Tommy. They started out losing 4 out of their first 5 games, but they've won 5 out of their last 6, and this is a team that's playing with a lot of momentum right now, having knocked off 2 Division II teams in the last 5 weeks. Talk about the confidence that they must have coming into this game. I mean, you know that this team faces a gauntlet every single season, and they schedule some top opponents every single year. They got to have some confidence coming in in a hostile environment, coming on the road to face a Tiffin Columbian team who many think is probably the favorite in this region. These Bruins are playing with a lot of confidence tonight.
Over the years and in Tiffin Columbian history, especially in the playoffs, it's one of those small fish in a big pond situation. You're jumping from the pond into the lake with the bigger squads, and even though you might have a Padua Franciscan team who lost 4 out of those first 5 games, those weren't against some schlubs. Those weren't against some jamokes. Those are against some key caliber opponents that have depth, that have size, and that's one of the things that Tiffin Columbian going into tonight wasn't really sure what they're going to get out of these Bruins. The Bruins, the only mutual opponent that these 2 squads share was in Sandusky. As we talked about earlier in the pregame, Tiffin Columbian able to append in a convincible fashion Sandusky earlier on in the season. A shootout with Padua Franciscan, I believe that was in week 4. Week 4. That was what Padua Franciscan was able to start breaking that turning point of the season, being able to append Sandusky in that shootout. So the offense is there. Tiffin Columbian now, those costly mistakes there in the first half, week 1 mistakes will not get you to week 13. And you got to clean those things up here in the last 24 minutes here from Frost County Stadium if you expect to make that regional semifinal run
Yeah.
that, TC is so desperately grasping at.
You're absolutely right, Tommy. They got to make something happen here as we start the second half. Padua will get the ball to start the second half here. So Tiffin Columbian's defense will be called to task once again as we start the second half. Sam Zimmerman will kick off. Thanks for tuning in on the First National Bank of Sycamore halftime show. We are underway. Onside kick. Tiffin Columbian looks like they may have it. And they do! Tiffin Columbian comes up with the onside kick off the... Oh, man, that is exactly what you wanted, Tommy. As they come out of the locker room, Sam Zimmerman executes the onside kick to perfection, so much so that he got bowled over by a coach down there on the sideline in celebration.
Sometimes it might take more guts and brains in these Week 12 situations to guarantee yourself a tomorrow, and catching a return team sleeping, that's one way to do it. We talked about the costly mistake by Tiffin Columbian earlier on in this one, going for it on a fourth down
There's a flag.
situation that
this is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct.
As we talked about, the onside kick to start this second half. That's as cold as a mother-in-law's kiss. And look at this
march off a lot.
Holy.
Yeah, all the way down to the 32-yard line. So this is exactly how you want to start the second half if you are Tiffin Columbian. My goodness.
We got the room to run now.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to these long, drawn-out plays through the air. Give it to the beast and let him get unleashed.
And there's Brockington up the middle. Carries it up to the 25-yard line. Good for 7 yards there on first down. We'll check in with our sideline reporter, Dan Hartsel, here in just a moment, as he is coming to you live down on the sidelines here at Frost County Stadium. We've got Braden Rogo in the shotgun. Handoff. Brockington squirts through a hole up the middle. And we got a flag that flies in at the end of the play as...
a little bit of the face mask.
Yeah. A little bit of face mask there as big number 9 doesn't seem to think so. Jesse Hayes pleading his case to the referee saying, hey, I had his shoulder pad. But they're going to wave it off. They wave off the penalty. Jesse Hayes must be majoring in acting when he's on his way to college. Well, Tiffin Columbian earns a first down on the carry regardless. Ball at the 21-yard line. Rogo. Handoff. Brockington. Little bounce out to the outside to the 16-yard line is where they'll mark him out of bounds.
Look at Brockington making chicken salad out of chicken. You know what? Rogo a little sloppy on the handoff there. A little slow to get it to him.
Actually, they'll say he's out at the 18, so good for a gain of 3. Second down and 7. Fake the handoff. Rogo had it batted away at the line as Jesse Hayes gets his paws in there and knocks that one down. In there as well, Jason Dusek.
Yeah, they brought 3 down linemen defensively, kind of put Hayes out in an outside linebacker type set. Just brought him off the edge, put his hands up, forced Rogo to try to throw over the towering defensive end.
Third down and 7. They bring a man in motion. That's Jack Corper. Settles into the slot on the right side. Rogo back to pass. Looking, slings it into the end zone. He's got a man in the back of the end zone, but overthrows his intended receiver. So this is going to bring up fourth down here. 4th and 7 coming up, and they're going to have to keep the offense on the field. A little too far for a field goal here.
First 24 minutes of action, you were able to see the Bruins put up points off of turnovers. Now, Tiffin Columbian to start this second half caught the Bruins sleeping on an onside kick, and now you got to make something out of this possession. I know there's still a lot of game left, but you're gifted this possession. Don't come away empty-handed as you start driving.
Well, they're going to bring Michael Wagner out to attempt the field goal. This one will be a 35-yard field goal. So Michael Wagner Timeout called by Tiffin Columbian.
That play call, the play clock was winding down. Now the Tornadoes forced to burn a timeout.
Yeah, it's going to be, once again, a UIS Insurance and Investments timeout. Thanks to all of our sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports for bringing you tonight's ball game. Thanks to Xcaret Mexican Restaurant and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, our presenting sponsors here tonight. Also thanks to Clouse Electric, UIS Insurance, First National Bank of Sycamore, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Rodgers Flowers, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, and Happy Days Nutrition. Proud new sponsor here on Heart of Ohio Sports. If you haven't been over there, folks, it's right where the old testing center used to be for the DMV. And they have some absolutely delicious offerings over there at Happy Days Nutrition. Snap is back, ball is down, the kick is up, and Wagner's kick long enough. It's good enough. He puts 3 on the board. 21-16 is your score. A 35-yard field goal by Michael Wagner brings the score to within 5.
Wow. And when you're missing an extra point, then Padua Franciscan makes good on a 2-point conversion, able to make those little extra point differentials start adding up. Tiffin Columbian on the onside kick to start this one. The Bruins were going to come out with the ball to start this second half. Columbian able to catch the return team sleeping, and were able to pull points off. Now, again, might have been only 3, but you only have to win by 1.
That's right.
As this 24 minutes continues to wind down. 10:58 remaining here in the third quarter. You're watching the adrenaline stream. Nate Mullins on the call with Tommy Hall here from Frost County Stadium.
Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Dan Hartsel, as he is down there along the Tiffin Columbian sideline. You know, Dan, we've missed you this year. You've been, over there at Van Buren doing a lot of good things over there. But what's it like, coming back to Tiffin Columbian Frost County Stadium here tonight? Nah, I think we lost Dan. All right. We'll check in with him after a little bit here as that kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. I think we lost his microphone. Yep, that's exactly what happened. I don't have his microphone anymore. So there it is. Hey, welcome back, Dan.
Hey, what I'm saying is it's great for me to be back here. Tiffin Columbian has some great kids, outstanding coaches. These facilities are second to none in Northwest Ohio. And I think that field goal is going to come into play huge for the Tornadoes. If that front line can hold up the way they did in that first half, I think this is going to be a great game for the Tornadoes here in the second half.
Yeah, a lot of familiar faces down there along the sideline. You getting any love down there, Dan?
You know what? A little bit here and there. When you do your job long enough, what do they say? You long enough to become the villain, but it's a good thing. It's all good. A lot of love. And just a lot of good hellos from the kids, cheerleaders, band members, and everybody up in the press box. So phenomenal job by Tiffin Columbian as always.
Dan's wallet might be a little lighter too after all the tabs he's ran out here. So he's got to pay some of those back too. We'll get back to him in a minute as Franciscan nothing doing on that first play. Actually loses a yard. Second and 11.
Tusai slings it out right side. That's complete. He's got his receiver who breaks the tackle, and he's going to be out of bounds past the first down marker up to the 34-yard line.
Well, you're starting to
That was an impressive run after the catch by Michael Harold Jr.
Starting to shore up down in the trenches. You still got to win those one-on-one matches in the open field, and that's what Padua Franciscan is going to try to exploit here in this second half. As a couple quick screens in that first half led to huge yards. Keeps the defense humble, keeps them spread out, and that allows you just to gash them up the gut.
Now we got a personal foul here. And that will be added onto the end of the run, so that puts the ball all the way to the 50-yard line. Wow. A little bit of a power look here, pistol formation. 3 receivers on the right side of the formation. 1 man in the backfield, that's Roderick Love behind Tyler Tusai.
A low 10 in the box here.
Hand off to Love off the right side, and the defense blows that one up in the backfield.
Yeah, nice read by the defense there, knowing that what was going to be coming. Decides to load up the box. Tiffin Columbian just pins the ears back and lets the dogs loose. 2nd and 12 now. Tusai looks over to the sideline for the play.
Nothing on this left side. They're playing short hash here, Tommy. Playing the short side of the field as they've got everybody all on that right side. This left side of the field is wide open here. Tusai fakes the handoff. Rolls to his right, looking, slings it out, completes it to his receiver, but he is tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Maybe got one.
I think Harrell actually, they're going to say incomplete.
Wow. 3rd and 12.
Big down and distance here for this TC defense. Can they come up with a stop? Once again, called to the task.
And that's what this defense does, is they create these down and distance situations. And I believe the Bruins have done a tremendous job in their play calling and adjusting to these down and distance situations.
Back to pass, Tusai loading it up down the middle of the field. It's incomplete as he was looking for Love. And Love is looking for the love from the officials, and he's getting none.
And feet get tangled up.
Yeah, you know,
in the
that
secondary,
happens.
But
feet got tangled up there, and Love falls to the turf. 4th and 12 coming up here for the Bruins, and that'll bring out the punt unit.
So
can't take any chances here, Tommy. They're going to have to punt this one away.
Pass intended for Love gets caught up with New Love, and there's no love lost on that play. 9:19 here in the 3rd quarter. Ball on the 48-yard line. Huge 4th and 12. Franciscan Padua going to punt here. And that one just tall, long up and gets lost in the light, comes back. Looks like it will go out right around the 31.
Tiffin Columbian will take over at their own 31-yard line. So not much on the punt there, Tommy. He's had a couple of really nice kicks here so far in this one. But Owen Lee unable to get anything under that one, as that one was just a really high end-over-end punt.
And here's the biggest thing is Franciscan Padua came out of the locker room with the lead. They were expecting to get the ball to start the half, try to add on to that lead. Caught sleeping on the return teams where Tiffin Columbian was able to onside it. Little squib kick action by Zimmerman. Got the ball, able to convert that into points with a 35-yard field goal. And now we'll go back to work here after a huge defensive stop.
Fake the handoff. Rogo slings it out. They set up the screen for Alzaquani. Cuts inside his blocker, and he's going to be cut down right around the 37-yard line. Good for about 6.
Oh, May Holmes' like little shuffle pass thing is just, gosh. If this stuff isn't hard enough to read on your keys, then you got little shuffle passes like that.
2nd down and 3. Rogo fakes the handoff, going to keep it himself. He's got running room up the middle, and he's past the 1st down marker inside the 45 down to the 48-yard line.
5-point game here from Frost County Stadium in this regional quarterfinal. Tiffin Columbian. Second drive of this second half.
Rogo slings it out left side for Corper. That's complete. Corper works his way back across the field, and he's over to the 42-yard line, up to the 1st down marker. That'll be good enough to move the chains.
Corper's the only receiver I know that runs back towards the middle of the field to find daylight.
He knows where his blockers are.
Exactly. I mean, nobody can read the field quite like Corper. That field of vision he has once that ball is in his possession.
Rogo back to pass. Looking down the middle of the field. He's got a man deep. And Gooding comes down with the catch. Brady Gooding, what a catch at the 3-yard line by BG3.
Look at this.
Let's take a look at that one again.
Brady Rogo drops back. All the protection. One-on-one down the field. A BG3 comes up with a huge reception to put the ball right on the 3-yard line. And the Tornadoes are knocking. Looking to punch it in. Play clock running down. 5 seconds.
The handoff, Brockington. Tripped up, stays on his feet,
but
keeps
Bruins.
the play alive. And they're going to mark him down around the 2, maybe the 3-yard line. Second down and goal coming up. Boy, what a ball game we've got going here. 7:05 left to play here in the third quarter. Bruins leading 21-16. Handoff, Brockington up the middle and into the end zone. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. That's a big-time touchdown run there from Damian Brockington.
That'll be his second as he ran one from 1 yard out earlier.
Let's take a look at that one once again here. Brockington plunges in from just 1 yard out, puts the Tornadoes up 22-21.
Oh, the Tornadoes looking to go for 2 here. This is huge. Rogo in the gun. He's got Brockington on his hip. It's a flicker. Corper to the
end zone, and they get the 2-point conversion.
Oh, no.
Talib Al-Zakwani. I'm sorry about that, folks. I'm trying to do 3 things at once right now.
Uh-oh. An illegal man downfield, be a 5-yard penalty. What does this reset you thinking as you come up with a trick play on a 2-point conversion? And no, the Tornadoes, they're going to go back out there and line up in a set for this 2-point conversion, Nate.
Rogo back to pass. He's going to sling it into the end zone. He's got Bryce. Incomplete is the call. No flag thrown.
This will remain a 1-point ball game after a little trickery-dickery dock. And not put points up as it's called back for a illegal man downfield.
That's such a tough call to make there. Illegal man downfield, you know? You're inside the 2-yard line there. Nevertheless, Tiffin Columbian takes the lead 22-21. 6:51 left to play here in the third quarter. Let's take a look around the area at some of the other scores going on in the OHSAA playoffs, thanks to our Your Legacy Federal Credit Union scoreboard. Perkins takes the lead over Van Wert after trailing 13-0. They have now stormed back to take the lead 15-13 in the third quarter. Clyde trailing Norton 28-13 in the third quarter. Of course, the winner of tonight's game goes on to face the winner of that ball game as well. Carey and Colonel Crawford are all tied up at 14 apiece. Of course, you can find that game over on the X stream. Let's check, see if our dual stream is fired up and working here.
Don't forget, visit heartofohiosports.com and you can catch these games live and the live score stream, keeping you up to date with the scores around the area as this kickoff takes a nice bounce and will be fielded right around the 5-yard line.
Brought down inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. A.J. Bonnell on the stop for Tiffin Columbian. Hickman also in on the stop, as well as Vaughn Zimmerman for Tiffin Columbian.
A.J. Bonnell get the stop there as Padua Franciscan will take over from the 19-yard line.
Man in motion. They fake it to the motion man, give it off up the middle, and he's into the open. To the 40, 35.
He gone.
To the 40.
It's a
to the 30. To the 20. Brockington brings him down from behind. The ball is on the ground. They recover it. But Marquise Hall, I think, kind of let off the gas a little bit, Tommy.
DK Metcalf actually chasing that one down.
Brockington is down on the play after chasing that one down from behind. I don't know if he's just tired. Maybe he's just worn out from tracking that one down. But, boy, you want to talk about closing speed?
Jeez.
Man, I wish I'd have saved that replay. Good Lord, that was one heck of a play by Damian Brockington.
Well, Tiffin Columbian clutching at pearls, as we talked about, able to get back in the driver's seat with a 1-point lead, 22-21. But in an instant, Padua Franciscan back within striking distance. Ball will be set up right around the 8-yard line.
Tusai in the shotgun. Two receivers on the far side of the field. One back in the backfield. Caden Fayok in the backfield. One receiver here on the near side, two on the far side. Man in motion. Now they're going to little quick pitch to the motion man, and not a whole lot of running room there for Love, as Roderick Love, the ball carrier. It was one of those little forward passes, Tommy, where if there was an exchange problem there, it wouldn't have been a fumble. It just would have been incomplete pass. Ball at the 5-yard line. Second down and goal. Shotgun formation. Tusai brings a man in motion. Fake it to the motion man. Tusai slings it into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, Bruins. Freddie Borky comes up with the catch. And this one is not anywhere near over yet, folks. 5:31 left to play here in the third. Bruins tack on another touchdown to go up 27-22. And this is one of those situations where, Tommy, they're going to keep the offense on the field. They're going to go for two here to try to keep this, or try to extend this out to a 7-point advantage. Three receivers here on the near side of the field for the formation. One man in the backfield. That's Marquise Hall. Tusai. Handoff. Hall up the middle. Defense is there, but he squirts through and punches it in for the 2-point conversion. Boy, they have had a lot of trouble wrapping up these smaller backs, Tommy. It seems like you get contact on them, but they just squirt right out of the contact. These arm tackles are not going to work, even if they're smaller guys. They got to get physical.
Yeah.
I think they're misinterpreting the size of these running backs, and I've seen multiple times tonight where these running backs are squirting out of tackles you would not expect Tiffin Columbian to miss. And I think it's just a case of maybe they're just underestimating these guys.
Well, all the 7-point ball game now after all the theatrics and squirrely missed extra points, missed 2-point conversions, field goals at one point to get this one back within 5. But Tiffin Columbian able to take the lead 22-21 for a second as the Bruins have a tremendous drive. Put points on the board to extend this lead, and the 2-point conversion was good. 29-22, Bruins lead it.
Corper on the return to the 30. He's got some running room to the 35, and he's up past the 35 to the 37-yard line.
The Wizard don't mess around.
Man, not one bit. Well, bye-bye.
Tiffin Columbian, after starting this second half with a tremendous comeback.
Hand off to Brockington, up the middle, carries defenders near the first down marker. They'll mark him down at the 47-yard line, but Brockington with an impressive carry there on first down. Picks up 9 yards. It's good to see him back out there.
Something sparked in young Brockington here.
Mm-hmm. Second down and 1. Shotgun formation. Once again, handoff. Brockington up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he's going to be inside Bruin territory down to the 48-yard line. We got a timeout, an injured player on the field. We'll keep it right here with 4:52 left to play here in the third quarter. Let's thank our sponsors here for bringing you this playoff ball game here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Absolutely. We want to thank these community-minded sponsors bringing you this regional quarterfinal right here from Frost County Stadium. I want to thank Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Clouse Electric, UIS Insurance, First National Bank of Sycamore, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Rodgers Flowers, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, and Happy Days Nutrition, all proud sponsors bringing you this playoff edition of high school football here on Heart of Ohio Sports. And man, what a regional quarterfinal this has been. Region 10, Division 3, Tiffin Columbian hosting Padua Franciscan. The Bruins on the road, looking to play spoiler on the road with a 7-point lead. And the winner of this matchup will face the winner of Norton and Clyde.
That's right. Last we checked, Norton was on top of Clyde 28-13. Rogo back to pass. He's pressured.
There's going to be a hold.
I think we're going to get a holding penalty on Tiffin Columbian.
Oh!
Yeah, Rogo took a shot at the end of that one.
Keys Hall in on the stop. Hold in the backfield, though. Will march the Tornadoes back.
Holding occurred right at the 48-yard line, so this will move the Tornadoes back to the 38. We'll see what the Bruins decide to do here, though, Tommy, because they'll lose 5 yards and the loss of down if they decline this.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather take the loss of down. Yeah. Take the loss of yardage, take the loss of down. You're still going to lose the 5 yards. You may not lose 10, but you're losing 4 yards back to the 49-yard line. And you lost the down, so now it's second down.
Declined.
2nd and 14 coming up. This Tiffin Columbian offense trying to find some answers now. Rogo is going to step up into the pocket, and he's going to be brought down right at midfield.
Tremendous play as Mark Orshaz comes off the block of Fortney and into the awaiting arms of Rogo into the awaiting arms there.
Jacob Dusek also in on the play there. Third down and long, 3rd and 13. Ball at midfield. Rogo has pressure, gets rid of it, and it's incomplete as he was looking for Corper across the middle of the field.
Hayes just lays the wood to Rogo there to bring up 4th down. And with the way that defense was getting after it, you know, normally around the 50, it's a toss-up between Judd Lutz's teams going for it and 4-down territory past the 50 or punting it.
And Tiffin Columbian brings out the punt unit. And they get the punt away. Deep punt, and this one's going to go into the end zone, though. So the Bruins will take over at their own 20-yard line.
Not quite a 3-and-out by the Tornadoes. They got a huge play by Brockington to start that drive, and then nothing but backwards from there.
We'll take a look around the area at some more scores here as Colonel Crawford takes the lead over Cary 21-14. Once again, you can find that game over on the X Stream. Search Heart of Ohio Sports X Stream on YouTube. Also, you can find it on our website, heartofohiosports.com. Gibsonburg leading Waynesfield Goshen 23-20 in the fourth quarter. Van Wert back on top of Perkins, 19-15. Handoff up the middle, and that's Roderick Love on the carry. Nothing doing there. Defense was right there to make the stop at the 19-yard line. Perkins, how did they tie? Did they get another safety? It was 15-13 just a second ago. Now it's 15-15. Perkins tied with Van Wert. To Sy, slings it out right side. Oh, nearly intercepted. Huge read by Bryce Rogo as he jumped that route, Tommy. Nearly had the pick.
Another read to the flat as Padua. That's kind of what they do. They kind of see what they can get going in the run game. Then they flip the script, create those mismatches in open space. But, man, this Bruin squad, they're really moving as Roderick Love, just in that first half, 108 yards on the ground, adding on to his total here late in the third quarter. 2:49 remaining here from Frost County Stadium. Bruins on top, 29-22.
Third and long. To Sy, back to pass. Pressure. To Sy, gets rid of it down the middle of the field. No, incomplete. Roderick Love, the intended receiver, but A.J. Hickman. Excellent coverage down the field.
If Love was able to come up with that, that might have been the play of the game.
Let's take a look at that one once again. Of course, replay is brought to you by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant and Clouse Electric.
Wow.
It's a big play right there for that TC defense. They come up with a stop, and now it's fourth down. Jack Corper back deep to return for Tiffin Columbian. Let's see if they can get something going here. 2:42 left to play here in the third quarter. Tornadoes trail by 7.
And that was such a huge defensive stand.
Yeah.
Your offense kind of came out a little bit flat there on their last drive. You're trading scores here late in the game.
They get the punt away. Fielded at the 50, 45 to the 40, to the 35, and a flag flies in. I don't understand what that call was. I got to see that again, Tommy. Was there really a holding there? Because that was like...
I know there's enough time to hold.
Oh, my gosh. Really? Wow. You look at the replay, and there's no... I don't understand what they called there. It made no sense.
A little shove to that first up man.
Well, you're not allowed to block him?
Not from behind.
He wasn't blocking him from behind. That was right on the shoulder. No, they called it holding. It wasn't from – that was an awful call. I'm sorry. That's just – wow.
Well, yes. You got to be able to answer back in the face of adversity.
That's right.
Never allow this game to be put in the hands of the officials. Chasing a 7-point lead here late in the game. He had a nice return there, but you got to have a short memory in this game. Ball will be set up at the 49, and Tornadoes take over.
First and 10, Corper, the man in motion, settles on the left side of the formation. Pistol set, handoff, Brockington up the middle, breaks off a couple of tackles, and he's going to be driven backwards. Forward momentum will have him pushed up to the 30, about the 43-yard line. So but they're just letting them play down there because, you know, after the last defensive possession for the Bruins, you saw number 9 just absolutely barking at the Columbian sideline, then going barking at the punt unit, and they're just chirping out there. I'm telling you.
That's what this game.
But they're not going to call those kind of flags in a playoff game. Handoff to Brockington up the middle, and should be good enough for a first, but they're moving back. I don't know. They're going to say it's just short. That's a pass. I don't even know. where he fell was closer to the 40, and they marked it inside the 41
I mean, where the
and the
ball
42.
is past the marker looks like.
Third
They're
and one.
gone off.
Handoff. Brockington. He's got the first. Thought he was brought down by the back of his helmet, but first down, Tiffin Columbian. They move the ball to the 40-yard line. First and 10. Handoff, Brockington up the middle, and he's going to be stopped after a short gain up to the 37-yard line. Tune in tomorrow morning as we'll have the Saturday scoreboard live inside Studio Squared in downtown Tiffin. Josh Morgret and myself be live recapping tonight's action and get you set for the weekend in college and professional football. Of course, we have college football live right here on Heart of Ohio Sports tomorrow as we'll bring you the Heidelberg versus Baldwin Wallace game. That game coming to you from Herneman Stadium at 1:30. Braden Rogo
The ball
keeps it himself and might have got a yard, but I don't think he did. No gain on the play.
See them, the Tornadoes trying to attack that A, that B gap, run it to the backside. And in these situations, keeping it away from that huge defensive end, Jesse Hage.
Oh, wow.
6'7".
Got a heck of a ball game going on over here.
235, and you can't teach that.
32 seconds left to play in the Cary Colonel Crawford game. Let's take a look at our dual cam here. As right now, this is the end of the third quarter, but folks, we're going to keep it right here as we've got the conclusion of the Cary Colonel Crawford game on our dual stream here. So before, we're going to go ahead and step aside, take a quick timeout. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports. It's the end of the third quarter. Bruins leading Tornadoes 29-20.
Stay right here. You're locked in on Heart of Ohio Sports. Clouse Electric is a veteran and family-owned full-service electrical contracting firm that has grown to be a first-class electrical contractor serving Northwest Ohio. Their mission is to provide high-quality commercial and industrial electrical projects in a timely manner. They do this by forming and training a professional team of employees who are dedicated to their core values, conscious of safe work practices, all while forming long-term relationships with their customers. Visit their website for more information at clouseelectric.com. Don't fumble your chance to catch the Coach's Corner live from Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery every Tuesday night at 6:30, featuring interviews from coaches from all around the area and some of the best food you can find. Come on out and join us at Benchwarmers or tune in to the live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or you can find us on our website, heartofohiosports.com. Hey, this is Nate Mullins here. You're watching high school football.
All right, and we're back here at Frost County Stadium. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall. We set to start the fourth quarter of action. Tiffin Columbian has a possession. 3rd and 6 at the Bruin 36-yard line. Rogo, handoff, Brockington, little double reverse, and this is a flea flicker. Rogo slings it down the field, and Bryce Rogo comes up with the catch at the 10-yard line.
The most bowling shoe ugly play of football I've ever seen.
Wow.
Somehow.
We got to get that.
Concentration.
Look at this.
Blown up from the get-go.
Wow.
Mistake
Boy, they
one.
are so lucky to get that one off.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Wow.
What a play. I can't believe that. And Brockington just takes it right up the gut on that one. Drives down right around the 3-yard line. And we'll give him 3 on that. And give him 5 on that.
That one's got to be a candidate for our Champs Cut of the Week. Brockington up the middle and keeps those legs churning. They're going to say he's down at the 1. 3rd down and goal at the 1-yard line. 11:05 left to play in the ball game. Tiffin Columbian trailing by 7. And over on the extreme. Wow. What a ball game as Colonel Crawford takes down Cary, their first loss in 27 games.
Down goes Cary. the defending state champs. But
Brockington plunges in. No, they're going to say he's down at the 1. Wow.
Dial it up.
Dial it up.
I mean, this is
4th and goal.
Who do you want to put this ball game in the hands of?
Put Rogo right under center. Sneak it in.
We'll
there he
see
is.
Here.
Right up under center. 4th and goal at the 1. This is a big play here for Tiffin Columbian. Timeout called. We'll keep it right here for this UIS Insurance timeout. (29-22) your score. Bruins leading by 7. Tiffin Columbian, 4th and goal at the 1-yard line. This is big time right here, Tommy. This isn't exactly the ball game, but I'll tell you, if the Bruins come up with a stop here and they put together a long drive, it could really spell doom for the Tornadoes. So Tiffin Columbian, they've got to take care of business here. Punch this one in. Final score, Colonel Crawford 21, Carey 14. The Blue Devils fall at the hands of the Eagles. Gibsonburg moving on, defeating Waynesfield Goshen 30-20. Hopewell Loudon loses. Their season comes to an end at the hand of the Columbia Raiders. And Tiffin Columbian.
Their season hanging on the line here from 1 yard out.
He is into the end zone. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian.
Officials took their sweet time to signal it.
He didn't make it in by much there, Tommy.
No, and that's what you get in week 12. Nothing is given. Everything is earned. Every snap, every down, every yard. And you're seeing it live here on the Adrenaline Stream. Heart of Ohio Sports.
Sam
Tiffin
Zimmerman.
Columbian looks to tie it up here.
On for the extra point. It's up, and it blocked. The extra point is blocked.
And a huge block by the Bruins to keep this lead 29-28.
That's at least 2 blocks, Tommy. I think it might be 3, isn't it?
In some instances, you might want to put your first team line in there on field goal.
I don't know, man. Michael Wagner had a nice boot, and he got a lot of elevation underneath of the kick to get it high and over the line. You got to wonder why they use this platoon system at kicker, because Michael Wagner drills a 35-yard field goal, and then you bring in Sam Zimmerman to kick the extra point here. To me, it's like you're not getting, either one of these guys, they're not getting a rhythm, They can't get into a rhythm when you have this back and forth. Zimmerman's done a great job this year on kickoffs, but extra points have been an uphill battle for this team the entire season. 29-28, Bruins on top. Zimmerman gets the kickoff away. It's fielded at the 14-yard line.
He's got blockers.
And Michael Harrell Jr. on the return brings it up to the 32-yard line.
Brockington with another tremendous stop, this time on special teams, as that one could have went for more. So here we are, 29-28, Bruins on top, leading here in the fourth quarter. 9:53 remaining in the ball game.
All right. Tusai handoff off the left side. Love, and he's into the open, and nobody's going to catch. No, wait, yeah, somebody's going to catch him. They bring him down at the 20-yard line. Roderick Love on the run.
And another dashing run to that outside. Carves up a huge, huge chunk of yardage to flip the field. And now the Bruins in an instant are driving once again.
Shotgun set here. Two side, handoff.
They're going to follow the blocks once again.
Love is going to be brought down from behind. Mitch Scheiber does a great job of coming in to make the stop behind the line of scrimmage at the 20. Slowed down the runner.
And you got to have a lot of faith in the counter because, again, you get those hats on a hat, you get all the perfect blocks set up, you're gonna come up with huge yardage. But if it doesn't work, you miss one block, it's going to be brought back down in the backfield.
2nd down and 11. 3 receivers here on the near side of the field.
Watch it go to the other side now.
Caden Fayok in the backfield. Takes the handoff. Off the left side.
Yeah, the
and
defense
is right there to make the stop. No gain. Might have actually lost a yard on the play. 3rd down and 12 coming up.
Well, now what do you do here? You know your counter's been working. Columbian's able to stop it twice there. Do you challenge the flat once again?
I'd say you go down the seam here. Find 88 down the seam if I'm the Bruins.
So they're going to take a shot there, huh?
Pistol set. They bring a man down. They settle the running back down on the right side. So shotgun. Fake the handoff. Two side. Rolling to his right. Slings it down the field. Nearly intercepted. Talib Al-Zakwani comes up to make the play to knock that one down, forcing the 4th down. So now it's decision time for the Bruins here. Do they bring out the field goal unit? Do they have a field goal kicker who can make it from this distance? They're going to try, as this one will make it a 4-point ball game, Tommy. If they can get this field goal in, this forces Tiffin Columbian into a situation where, a field goal will not win the game. They gotta score a touchdown.
Smell something fishy.
Owen Lee on to kick. The kick is up. It's got distance. It's good. It squeaks through the right side. Just barely gets it through the uprights. And Owen Lee puts the Bruins up 32-28 with 7:55 left to play here in the ball game.
Well, you always want to allow none on the board, but if you have to, 3 is always better than 6. And now the Bruins with a 4-point lead. Definitely not out of the woods yet, as Columbian with a chance to take back the lead if they're able to get a touchdown here, but a field goal is not going to do it.
That's right. They need to get this one into the end zone here. 7:55 left to play in the ball game. Let's take a look around the area at some of the other scores, as we do have some finals to report. As we mentioned, Colonel Crawford over Cary. 26-game winning streak comes to an end at the hand of the Eagles in Cary. Final score 21-14 for that one. Clyde trailing Norton 28-13. That in the 4th quarter. Of course, the winner of tonight's game will go on to face the winner of that game. Glenville leading Bellevue 43-6. Fielded at the 20-yard line. Corper on the return to the 35. Finds some blockers, cuts it outside past the 40 to the 43-yard line. Jack Corper on the return, good for 23 yards.
What a huge stop by Logan Petty.
Perkins leading Van Wert 22-15 now. Final, Gibsonburg over Waynesfield Goshen 30-20. Couple more finals as Columbia beats Hopewell Loudon 36-6. And as we mentioned, Colonel Crawford over Cary 21-14.
And now Tiffin Columbian season hangs in the balance with the Bruins with a 4-point lead after a field goal. 32-28, 7:47 remaining in the game. Rogo in the gun.
Handoff, Brockington. Up the middle. Spins his way forward past the 45 to the 46-yard line. They'll give him the 47 for forward progress. Good for 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 coming up. We're down to the 7:30 mark here in the ball game. Tornadoes trail by 4, 32-28. Rogo slings it out left side for Corper. That's complete. Corper has the first down inside Bruin territory down to the 44-yard line. Jack Corper on the reception. Good for a first down. First and 10. Rogo, handoff, Brockington, trying to find some running room. Bounces off a couple of defenders and carries it forward. Give him about 7 yards on the carry. Actually, give him 8 up to the 36-yard line. That's good for 8 yards. Second down and 2 coming up.
And the faith that Coach Lutz has in this front line here late in the game, still allowing that run game to become so potent to open up other wrinkles in your game.
Hand off to Brockington, bounces it outside to the 25 and out of bounds inside the 25, down to the 22-yard line. Damian Brockington starting to put his imprint on this ball game here in the fourth quarter.
6:36. Brockington ran out of bounds. Will stop the clock.
Shotgun set once again. One man in the backfield, that's Brockington. Fake the handoff. Rogo slings it over the middle. It's tipped at the line and incomplete. Boy, Jesse Hayes is in there on every play. They need to get him some help. That right tackle, they got to get a tight end or somebody over there, help chip this guy and get him out of the quarterback's face. Because he is just blowing up that right side of the line.
Normally when they run motion, they'll run it away from him, so that extra blocker is on the other side of the play at that point.
Not sure what was said there. We lost our sideline, Mike. I don't know what happened with that, but there he is. He's cutting in and out. It seems like whenever there's people in front of him, we lose him. Brockington takes the handoff, and they are right there to make the stop at the line of scrimmage. Nice job there by Marquise Hall coming in to make the stop behind the line, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Big 3rd down here for Tiffin Columbian. Down to 6:05 to play in the ball game.
As you're driving into the opponent's territory, remember a field goal is not going to cut it here.
Right.
You're down 4 points. Huge
Only
3rd down.
One timeout left for Tiffin Columbian after having to waste one earlier in the game. Rogo back to pass, slings it down the field. He's got a man in the end zone, it's caught. They're going to say incomplete.
How?
Oh, wow. I got to watch that one again because it looked like that was good from here. Yeah. Looked like he caught that to me. I don't know. That one's rough. That's a rough call to make, especially from a guy who was pretty far away from the play. (32-28), Bruins leading Tiffin Columbian. Tornadoes facing a 4th and 11. Keeping the offense on the field, and I think we got a timeout here. Padua takes a timeout. We'll keep it right here for this UIS Insurance and Investments timeout. Once again, tonight's ball game presented by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union and Xcaret Mexican Restaurant in the Tiffin Mall. Folks, I don't know why I got to tell you about this all the time, but I love to talk about Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. Let me tell you, these folks, they're community-minded sponsors in every sense of the word. They have their children going to school here. They support so many noble causes in this community, and they've been here, a staple of this community for over 20 years. How can you not ask for much more from a local establishment? Please, when you hear this name, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant in the Tiffin Mall, go out and find out what all the fuss is about. I'm telling you, that queso, chorizo, tacos, street tacos, they got it all. Check out the new look menu and tell them the folks at Heart of Ohio Sports sent you. 4th down and 11. Rogo. And we got a flag that flies in. False start against Tiffin Columbian. I think Rogo got a little bit too much of a head start there. Yep. They called Bryce Rogo on the infraction. So that'll move the ball back to the 28-yard line. 4th down and 16 now. 5:43 left in the ball game. Just one timeout for the Tornadoes. So if they don't pick this up, they're going to have to get something done here.
They've got a lot of work cut out for them against an offense they can't seemingly stop.
Rogo steps up into the pocket, slings it into the end zone. Oh, incomplete. He had Brockington, but just overthrows his intended receiver.
And
Boy, I thought he had that one. That was
doing what he can to keep his squad in this one, but the Bruins shored up defensively to force a turnover now. 5:37, Bruins on top by 4, 32-28. Now you got to stop this Bruins offense that seemingly has just been cutting you up for huge yardage in a blink of an eye, Nate.
Well, that had to change the complexion for the rest of the ball game here, because now Bruins come out, they take over at their own 28-yard line, and they just got to milk this clock, Tommy.
Maybe Colombian defense has been waiting for a call to arms in this situation.
3 receivers on the near side. They bring the tight end on the right side of the formation. They're going short side of the field here. Love breaks a tackle, carries it forward, still moving, still carries it forward.
Wow.
All the way past the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Tommy, these arm tackles are just not going to work with this kid. He's so strong for such a small kid. They cannot try to bring him down with arm tackles.
And even if you're trying to punch the ball out, not the route you want to go, you want to get a stop. You want to keep them as far away from your end zone or field goal range as possible. The field goal puts it up by 7.
3 receivers on the far side, 1 back in the backfield. 2 side, brings a man in motion. That's the tight end, settles on the left side.
Counter left.
Now they're going to run to the left. And that should have been a false start on the running back as he started moving, and it is indeed the call. Oh, what? Did I just hear Van Wert on top of Perkins right now? Oh, let me hear. Hang on. Let me go look at the score. Oh, Van Wert 23, Perkins 22.
What is going on? This one continues to wind down. 4:39 remaining. Bruins with the ball.
1st and 15. Hand off to Love off the left side. And once again, he finds some running room, and he's got it up past the 35. Actually, right at the 35 is where they'll mark him down. So good for a gain of about 5, maybe 6 yards.
Evan
2nd
Mersch
down and 9 coming up.
Pounding the turf as he knew that one just slipped through his fingers. TC getting the pressure just at that second. You get past that second level, I mean, you're almost off to the races.
2nd down and 9. Man in motion. Tight end settles on the left side. Counter left. Once again, Love off the left side. Defense is there to make the stop.
Does not get out of bounds. That might be a good thing.
And Tiffin Columbian uses their final timeout with 3:45 left to play here in the ball game. Bruins facing a 3rd and 8 coming out of the timeout. Of course, tonight's timeout's brought to you by UIS Insurance and Investments.
Well, there's a difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. And the Bruins here, I mean, you got a bevy of options. You get a 1st down, this one might be over. Yeah, you move the chains, again, you continue to run this ball. 3rd and 7, you're still in 4-down territory. I mean, there's a lot that can happen.
That's absolutely right. 3rd down and 7. 3:45 left to play in the ball game. Don't forget, tomorrow, tune in for the Saturday Scoreboard live here on Heart of Ohio Sports. 9 a.m. start inside Studio Squared in downtown Tiffin. And then 1:30 start for Heidelberg versus Baldwin Wallace right here on the pulse of the Buckeye State, Heart of Ohio Sports. 3rd and 9. Tusai in the shotgun. Looking. Slings
All
it down the
time in the
right
world.
sideline, and it's incomplete as he was looking for his intended receiver, number 13, Dejan Telfair. And that's going to fall incomplete. 4th down. And I believe you'll see the punt unit. It would make sense here to try to pin them deep here, Tommy. 3:39 left to play in the ball game. Tornadoes have no timeouts. And that's indeed what they do. They bring the punt unit out.
If I'm the coach, I mean, this is the difference between week 13 and cleaning out your locker on Monday. I mean, you got to, if you're punting here, I mean, that's a safe bet, but you can also put this one away.
Owen Lee on to punt this one away for the Bruins. And this one's a high punt, and it's going to roll right into the end zone for a touchback. So Tiffin Columbian will take over at their own 20-yard line. Tommy, I don't know. If you were just going to punt the ball into the end zone, why didn't you just try to go for it there? I mean, What's the difference in another 10 yards there? I mean, you think about it, yeah.
And the one thing you don't want to do is give them a chance with the ball. In that 3rd down situation, I don't know if I would have passed it there. I would have tried to run it. You're already carving this defense up for 6-7 yards per carry. You only need 7 yards. You bring up 4th and short. You'll be able to either kick the field goal, put it up by 7, or put it away and put it in the books with a nice design run. But nonetheless, Tiffin Columbian afforded another shot at it. 3:32 remaining.
Tornado ball at their own 20-yard line.
I mean, this Bruins, they got a lot of confidence in this Bruins defense that they're going to get a quick stop here.
Rogo, handoff, Brockington. Carries it up the middle. Not a whole lot of running room there. Maybe a couple. Up to about the 23. Maybe 22. This is that time, Tiffin Columbian. They need a big drive right here. 2nd and 8. Shotgun formation, 2 backs in the backfield. Mitch Scheiber and Brockington. They fake the handoff to Scheiber. Rogo steps up into the pocket, and he's brought down. Steps up and steps right into the waiting arms of Jesse Hayes.
The pocket collapses and still forces Rogo just to come up, and Hayes able to get those long paws on him from behind.
3rd down and 7 from the 23-yard line. 2:35 left to play. Clock continues to roll here. Rogo in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking, steps up into the pocket, slings it down the field, and he's got his receiver at the 40-yard line, complete and out of bounds. Jack Corper on the reception.
We kind of reset the table here now.
Wow. Whew.
Give yourself some room to work.
A little bit of breathing room here.
Now Tiffin Columbian again, 2:23. I mean, that playbook starts to get a little bit shorter, but you get in better field position, it opens it up.
1st and 10 at the 40. Rogo back to pass. Steps up into the pocket, slings it over the middle. It's incomplete. He was looking for Corper at the 40-yard line. Corper had a lot of running room there across the middle there, but Rogo just unable to put it on him. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Very dangerous throw.
We do have a final from Norton and Clyde as the Panthers take care of business against the Flyers. 28-13, your score there. So the winner of tonight's game goes on to face the Norton Panthers. Rogo slings it out left side. Corper on the completion. He's got the 1st down inside Bruin territory and keeps pushing the pile down to the 47-yard line.
And that's just a football move. Corper, unsure where exactly he's at on the field, you're still going to grind it out. Even though you move the chains, you still fight for them extra yards as the clock rolls down here. 2 minutes to go here from Frost County Stadium.
Rogo looking, rolls to his left, still looking down the field, and he's going to be out of bounds right around the 45-yard line. Good for a couple yards, but once again, better than just eating that sack there and keeps the clock stopped at 1:52.
And what a final 2 minutes. I mean, this one.
What a ball game here, folks. Ugh. Second down and 8. Rogo back to pass, slings it down the sideline. Bryce Rogo on the reception and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He takes a late hit.
And even with the early contact, able to come up with the ball. I can't believe that play.
So he goes out of bounds, stops the clock at 1:46, and they have it at the 25-yard line. Timeout, Bruins. 1:46 left to play in the ball game. And Padua Franciscan calls a timeout. They've got one remaining.
And what a final 2 minutes of action we have for you from Frost County Stadium in this regional quarterfinal. We want to thank our sponsors for bringing this playoff game to you. We want to thank Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Clouse Electric, UIS Insurance, First National Bank of Sycamore, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Rodgers Flowers, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, and Happy Days Nutrition, all proud sponsors of this regional quarterfinal live from Frost County Stadium as Tiffin Columbian chasing a 4-point lead with the ball on the 25-yard line, minute 46 seconds remaining here in this one, Nate.
Field goal does you no good here. You need those 6 points. 1:46 remaining in the ball game. Rogo, handoff, Brockington. He's got running room. He's to the 15. He's to the 10. And he's out of bounds inside the 10-yard line at the 7. They'll mark him out at the 6. Damian Brockington. What a carry. And sets up the Tornadoes with a 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
No timeouts. Brockington out of bounds. Ball at the 6. I always say, you know, football is not a game that builds character, it reveals it. And it's revealed inside the red zone here.
Pound that rock. Rogo is going to have to sling that one into the dirt.
That should be a intentional grounding.
No. Boy, Dan, you picked a heck of a game to come back for.
I agree. I thought at first in the start of the third quarter it was going to come down to who had the ball last, and I can say that now because it's evident.
That's right. Braden Rogo settles into the shotgun. 2nd down and goal. Rogo going to throw it once
Takes
again.
that from behind.
Slings it into the end zone, incomplete.
Bruins with all the pressure on that one. You've had about 3 defenders from the backside chasing down Rogo.
3rd and 6.
You got it back. That average is 7.7 yards. On 3rd and 6, you got a chance here to either dial up a touchdown.
You got 2 downs here.
Yep. Or you can give yourself a chance almost at the 1 or put it away here.
Get it closer.
Well, not so much put it away as Padua still has one
down to
timeout.
2 seconds on the play clock. 1, and they do get the play away. Wait a second. Oh, false start. They're going to say false start on the Tornadoes. So things, you know, they get it down to the 6-yard line, and now it just seems like things are just starting to kind of just spiral.
Live in the moment.
Well, that's what's on the clock. It hasn't.
Dead ball, false start.
Yeah, nobody got set before the play. They got to get set for at least a second before they can call the snap. And that's why they called the false start.
Well, 3rd and goal from the 11-yard line. Now you have limited your playbook. The defense able to make an adjustment here. Kind of know what you might be going for. You see that two-back set.
3rd and 11. Rogo slings it into the end zone. It's picked off.
It's picked off.
Intercepted at the goal line.
And that's going to do it. The Bruins, you knew on a 3rd and 11 that Tiffin Columbian's playbook was limited, that you knew they were going to probably take a shot towards the end zone. And right there, the turnovers continue to be the story of this one.
1:25 left to play in the ball game. Bruins are going to run out the rest of this clock, and this will bring an end to the Tiffin Columbian season here. As
what
disappointing ending here.
Well, you talk about in that first half alone, 3 turnovers. Second half, completely clean game by the Tornadoes, down to the wire with a 125, and then unraveling with the ball at the 6. False start, didn't get set, made it a 3rd and 11 situation, forced them to pass, and that was it. Defense able to make the read, make the adjustment, and now perhaps going to their favorite play, the victory formation, because with 1 minute and 25 seconds, this one's pretty much wrapped up. You kind of get swept up in the moment sometimes. You know, you had the ball at the 6-yard line and momentum on your side, everything going right for you. And just a costly mistake.
Dude, why didn't they just kneel the ball there? I don't understand the point in trying to run a play there. Just kneel the ball down. You just got your quarterback hammered for no reason. Just kneel on the ball. Frustrating end to the season for these Tornadoes, as it really felt like, this team had all the makings of a deep playoff run, and it was just thwarted by a
miscues
by a great Bruins
Turnovers.
team. You got to give credit where credit's due. This Bruins defense stood tall when they needed to. They got the stops they needed to.
And they got the points off turnovers when they presented themselves. You got to make every use of every opportunity. And when you get a chance out there under the Friday night lights, again, you got to maximize your minutes.
That's right. All right, that's going to do it. That's your final score. Final score 32-28. Tiffin Columbian falls to the hands of the Padua Franciscan Bruins. And that's the end of their season. We'll step aside, take a timeout. We'll come back and break this one down. Once again, you've been tuned in to Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
Stay right here. You're locked in on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
How are we doing, guys? My name is Joey Krajewski, co-host of the Over Under podcast on Heart of Ohio Sports. Make sure you tune in every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock and every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Thank you, guys.
Be sure to give us a like, follow, and subscribe to Heart of Ohio Sports on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter.
Stay right here. You're locked in on Heart of Ohio Sports. Clouse Electric is a veteran and family-owned full-service electrical contracting firm that has grown to be a first-class electrical contractor serving Northwest Ohio. Their mission is to provide high-quality commercial and industrial electrical projects in a timely manner. They do this by forming and training a professional team of employees who are dedicated to their core values, conscious of safe work practices, all while forming long-term relationships with their customers. Visit their website for more information at clouseelectric.com. Don't fumble your chance to catch the Coach's Corner live from Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery every Tuesday night at 6:30, featuring interviews from coaches from all around the area and some of the best food you can find. Come on out and join us at Benchwarmers or tune in to the live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or you can find us on our website, heartofohiosports.com. Hey, this is Nate Mullins here. You're watching high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Stay right here. You're locked in on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Small business owners need somebody that can open the door to financing. And at First National Bank of Sycamore, we love opening the door for financing opportunities.
UIS Insurance and Investments, your hometown agency providing a full range of insurance and financial services with a local touch. Contact your homegrown agent, Jeff Leopold, for a professional review today at 419-447-4242, extension 1144. Catch up on all the scores from the night before on the Saturday Scoreboard Show, live every Saturday at 9 a.m. on Heart of Ohio Sports. Hey, this is Nate Mullins here. You're watching high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
And we're back here at Frost County Stadium. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call. You're tuned in here on the Your Legacy Federal Credit Union pregame show. Once again, your final score, Padua Franciscan 32, Tornadoes 28. Tiffin Columbian season comes to an end right here in front of the home crowd at Frost County Stadium. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall. We've got Bailey Mullins manning the camera tonight. We had Dan Hartsel on the sideline. My wife, Chelsea Mullins, running the sideline camera as well. Thanks for all of you for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. I want to give a shout out and a thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us bring playoff football to each and every one of you right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Clouse Electric, UIS Insurance, First National Bank of Sycamore, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Rodgers Flowers, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, and Happy Days Nutrition, as well as our patron for tonight's game, Dr. Joel Consolo. Huge shout out and a thank you to all of our sponsors for bringing you tonight's ball game and bringing you playoff football here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Just not the ending to the season that Tiffin Columbian had in mind. Tommy, when I'm watching this game and I'm watching this play out, that last drive, it felt like, everything was there for them to take that game at the end of the game. Right there at the 6-yard line. And they don't run the ball one time. Three straight passes. And I understand Braden is a great quarterback. You want to put the ball in your best player's hands at the end of the game. But I thought, with 1:30 left, you got the ball inside the goal line situation. You want to try to run off some time in case they do end up getting the ball back. So why not run the ball on first down there or second down there? Run some of that clock down. That way, when you do score, you're not giving it back to them with 1 minute left and they still got 2 timeouts. Maybe that's just the coach in me thinking and pondering what ifs. But, it is what it is, Tommy. You just got to live with it.
I mean, here's the bottom line is you're in week 12. And, in this expanded playoff format, you might have some mismatches there in week 11, in which you saw Tiffin Columbian rout Rocky River 41-7. But this week is a different story. I mean, you're talking about vying for the regional semifinal. You're going to get everybody's best shot. And tonight, when you got a match that's this tightly contested, it was going to come down to, I hate to sound cliche, but it's going to come down to who made the least amount of mistakes. And 3 turnovers in that first half, didn't do you any favors, and you played a completely clean second half right down to the final minute to where you knew, that Murphy's Law was going to rear its ugly head sooner or later, as just weren't able to put together a complete 48 minutes there at the end.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you live with it and you die with it, and at the end of the day, you're just going to have to live with this. And they're going to have to soak this one up and move on. Basketball season starts for a lot of these guys. This will be the last time some of them ever suit up in blue and gold on this field. So soak up this last night here at Frost County Stadium, and now it's time to put it behind you. You just got to move on.
Yeah, and again, when you're a senior and you play that last snap, for 95% of them, that's going to be their last game. It's the last time you ever play the game, and it's a big moment to sit back and reflect. You know, you sit there and you process those emotions. You know, luckily and fortunate for some get to play at the next level in college, so you don't really have that in the back of your mind. But again, for those that are playing their final down, playing their final snap, I mean, it's just a tremendous send-off to the senior group who came into a program that had a rocky start to begin with. And then, you know, like for Rogo, he came in his freshman campaign and you get to the state semifinal. You set a new standard. And this program, for these seniors, I think they've definitely set a standard behind them as well. So I think, you know, we can go on and on, but we can go ahead and get out of here. I think our MST player of the game should be our TC seniors.
That's what I was just about to say, Tommy. Let's give our MST Sauce Company Player of the Game award out. As, you know, we're going to have to, let's see here. Let's bring this one up into the press box here for us. As, yeah. Let's talk about that. No Dan Hartsel. He's not here. None of that. Oh, come on. Get that out of here. There we go. So, player of the game, you got to give this one to all the seniors, Tommy, because this was one heck of a ride for these seniors. This is, you know, a 4-year class that they never really tasted losing, Tommy. All 4 years of these seniors' careers, they made the playoffs. They made a deep run in the playoffs in 2020. There's nothing to hang your head about if you're one of these seniors here. You've probably played some of the most games combined in Columbian history when you consider some of these guys who've played meaningful minutes for this squad. You think about guys like Connor Musa, Decker DeVore, Carter Groves, Evan Mersch, Michael Tucker, Charles Ludwig, Gabe Sewell, Mitch Scheiber, Zane Smith. These names, they're going to go down in history as some of the best Tornadoes to ever play here and don that gold helmet.
Oh, absolutely.
When you consider winning, and that's at the end of the day, that's what's most important, right? Winning games. They've won a lot of ball games with this senior group.
That and, you know, the game of football after the fact, it's about life after football and what type of man you become on and off the field after the fact, after you've played your last down. And, you know, for a lot of these seniors, like we talked about, there's a lot of things that aren't guaranteed in life, and the only thing you can guarantee is your effort. And that effort that these young men put on the field throughout their last 4 seasons, I mean, again, my hat's off to a tremendous run for these seniors. Nate, if you want to give them their.
Absolutely. Once again, we'll run through that senior list. Number 14, Zane Smith. Number 20, Mitch Scheiber. Number 27, Gabe Sewell. Number 51, Charles Ludwig. Number 61, Connor Musa. Number 67, Michael Tucker. Number 70, Decker DeVore. Number 72, Carter Groves. And number 73, Evan Mersch. That's your senior class here at Tiffin Columbian. 9 seniors on that team this year. And if you know anything about Tiffin Columbian, that's a pretty short number for seniors for a squad. So what's that tell you, Tommy? It tells you they got a heck of a squad coming back next year.
Absolutely, and we're going to follow this squad through and through and continue to bring you our expanded coverage, as we want to thank you for joining us through our first full season here under the Heart of Ohio Sports banner. We want to thank you for joining us and supporting us from the get-go at the tail end of last basketball season, and then a rousing amount of support throughout baseball, bringing us into this football season. Man, what a wild ride it's been. We've got to see a lot of programs from around the area make it to those deep runs like you talked about. We've got to be hosted in the state semifinal baseball up in Akron and treated to sweet digs here in the press box for 2 rounds of the OHSAA playoffs here in football. And man, we just can't wait to see what's around the corner for us in basketball season. But as we tie a bow on football season, don't forget, tomorrow morning, Saturday Scoreboard live with Nate Mullins inside Studio Square right here at 9 a.m.
That's right. Saturday Scoreboard. Tune in 9 a.m. as Josh Morgret joins me inside Studio Squared. We'll break down tonight's action and get you set for the weekend in football as we've got college football. More football coming to you right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Our final Heidelberg home game of the year and probably our final football game of the 2022 year as we bring you Heidelberg versus Baldwin Wallace live right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. 1:30 kickoff, but tune in right around 1 o'clock as I understand there's some special Senior Day festivities. It is also Community Day down at Herneman Stadium, so come on down, bring the kids, enjoy a great time. And if you can't go down to the stadium, which you probably should, it's the last home game, but if you can't make it, tune in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We'll have all the coverage for you live right here on the Pulse of the Buckeye State. Well, Tommy,
partner,
what's this, 9 seasons now?
9 seasons in the books.
9 seasons in the books.
We get ready to join you for a decade in coverage as hopefully, again, you've enjoyed this ride. We've got to see some of these kids play from their freshman campaign all the way into their senior year of college and get to see some of those relics of the past from past calls of us. Tomorrow at Heidelberg is, young Tyler Turek. He plays for that Heidelberg squad. We got to call his name for many, many years. So, it's just such a blessing to be able to see out a lot of these journeys that these athletes take and being, timid little freshmen out on the field, getting their first varsity snaps to being, influential members of society, going into their senior campaigns of their college years. And, man, it's just – you can't ask for a better community and better coverage in the area. 2 colleges, 2 high schools, a bevy of little brothers around the area. And once again, we want to thank you, and we'll catch you down the road.
That's right. For Dan Hartsel, Chelsea Mullins, Bailey Mullins, and my partner, Tommy Hall, I'm Nate Mullins, signing off from Frost County Field. Once again, your final score, 32-28. Bruins upend the Tornadoes. Padua Franciscan moves on. They will face Norton in the next round. Tiffin Columbian season comes to an end right here in front of the home faithful at Frost County Stadium. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to us on all of our platforms, especially if you're watching us on YouTube and you're not subscribed. What are you doing? Come on, folks. Help us out. Send us a subscribe and share the video. Help us out. Once again, a huge shout-out to all of our playoff sponsors, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Clouse Electric, UIS Insurance, First National Bank of Sycamore, MST Sauce Company, Phillips Electric, Rodgers Flowers, Feasel's Frame and Collision, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, and Happy Days Nutrition, as well as our patron for tonight's game, Dr. Joel Consolo. Once again, for all of the crew here at Heart of Ohio Sports, I want to wish you a very happy Friday evening. Tune in tomorrow morning for the Saturday Scoreboard and Heidelberg football right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Have a great night, everybody.